this.
All right. Welcome. We are live on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Got three of us here right now. We may have some others pop in later, but I will say hi. I am David from Red Wagon Dioramas. Gary, would you introduce yourself?
Gary Avery, just a fanatical Black Series collector and 3D customizer.
Hell of a 3D customizer.
That's right.
I'm John with Layer Creations.
Yes, and we are going to talk probably a lot of Star Wars Black Series tonight because that is what the three of us have in common the most. And probably some 3D design, some 3D printing, some customizing. But I do want to talk about PulseCon too tonight and what they showed off yesterday, because they showed off a lot of stuff and I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Were you guys able to catch? Did you actually catch the stream, or would you guys just kind of follow up on photos afterwards?
Photos.
I watched it partially live, and then I listened to it as I was driving, so I was contributing to the notoriously awful traffic in Houston. As I was getting cut off, I was listening to Hasbro talk about their stuff. So, yeah, I was kind of maybe a little bit delayed, but I was watching it just a little bit. It was pretty awesome.
Hey, Ned, how's it going?
What's up, guys?
Is that a fancy new microphone? What is that blue thing in front of your face?
Yeah, I don't know. My sister got it for me. I've been on here before and I've used it. I don't know. I guess you don't remember. I don't know. It's right in front of my face now, and I didn't have it angled correctly before. So now.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember it.
Yeah,
so prominent.
I don't know. Is it working? Can you guys actually hear me? Or
yeah, you sound good.
Yeah, you sound great.
Yeah, nice and clear. Props to your sister.
Yeah, I know. It was really nice of her, actually. She actually gave me two of them, another small one and standalone, and then she gave me this other one with the arm and everything, attaches to the desk and everything. It's handy. I mean, I don't know anything about computer stuff anymore. I'm about 25 years behind on everything now.
I'm just using the Apple AirPods. That's what I'm doing.
Well, it looks very Star Warsy. It has a little bit of R2D2 vibe there.
Yeah, it changes colors, but I like the blue on it. It does. That would be a good idea for someone to sell that. Put it like an R2 type unit.
Yeah, look, put a little dome head on the top.
Yeah, Gary, you just came up with a good piece of memorabilia you can sell. Yeah.
If only you had someone who could 3D design something like that and then print it for you.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Who would know anyone that could do that?
Some guy named Layered Creator. I don't know.
I don't know.
I have a Stormtrooper Alexa over there, so it's doable.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Is it just like a jacket for the Alexa? It just goes over it?
Yeah, there's a little. The Alexa's white and it fits down right into it. And
that's cool.
When you talk to it, the eyes light up blue. It's pretty cool.
I think they should make one that's just like Jeff Bezos with like red glowing eyes. Just rename Alexa Jeff, and you just asking him everything.
So, Nick, when you popped in, we were just talking about how we watched PulseCon. I was wondering, did you watch the live stream, or did you kind of catch up on photos after?
I caught up on everybody else's posts on his Instagram. Yesterday or the day before that, it was all about James Earl Jones. So I got like 100 posts of that. And then today it's been PulseCon. So I think I've seen everything. And then I was just listening to a podcast on Tim from Bosk's Bounty, but that was mostly, I think he only covered the 3 3/4. So,
Now, I didn't follow Tim's content yet. I do watch his channel somewhat regularly. What was he able to go there live in person to Hasbro's headquarters?
I think so, because he's got some pictures. I guess they did it in the UK or something, because I'm seeing a lot of guys I follow, like Phil uses the Forest channel, Instagram channel. I've seen him around. Great guy. And they all seem to be congregating around there. So I would think that obviously, it was in somewhere in London or whatever. I don't know. Somewhere in England.
I gathered there were a handful of influencer types that were invited to, Hasbro UK. It looked like to see the product, which is pretty cool. So I didn't get an invite here. I mean, I'm like 45 minutes from Hasbro in Rhode Island. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I
I
think,
guess we should have messaged Matt and be like, "What's up, man? What?
Yeah, come on.
Where's my
Matt,
invite?"
Steve. Yeah. Anyway, I thought it was a pretty good showing across the board for my part, as far as the Star Wars stuff. I was able to watch, I don't know, just a few minutes of the stream, but I was working, so I watched it actually last night, and then of course I did see the pictures and stuff too. But I actually did watch most of the stream just to, because you get some tidbits of
Mm-hmm.
little bits and pieces when they're talking. So
I know we're going to be spending most of the time talking mostly like Star Wars and probably a little bit of GI Joe and maybe Marvel. But did you guys watch the D&D stuff at all?
no. What
No.
did you see there that you liked?
So I was really hoping that they were going to announce some more figures, like what they were doing. I got this guy for like $17 on the outlet, and he's really awesome.
He does.
They didn't announce any more figures, but what they did announce, I thought was actually really kind of cool, was that they were going to they're doing an interactive D&D, a virtual D&D system, almost like a video game, but like you lay everything out yourself, and it's kind of like that Steam game where you can do like virtual tabletop games. But it looks really cool, and you can take your characters from D&D, I think it's D&D Beyond, and then bring it into this system, and then use it in like real like in-person tabletop games. So I thought it was cool. Like, I don't play D&D, but I'm really into like the creatures and stories and stuff. So I thought it was neat.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, we got a comment here, guys. Let's great. Good. Thanks for joining us, a couple of brickheads. It's a great question. What was your number one most wanted figure from the event? So that can be across all lines.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember what all they announced. I need to get a recap. Do we have a recap anywhere?
For me, it just had to be the OT, Luke and Leia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Luke does look really good.
Because the original Luke was so not good. But now I can use those for some customs. But that new Luke looks really good. Even
which version do you guys like better, the 3.75 or the 6-inch Black Series? Which like on the face sculpt? So some people are on the fence with it. They say the Black Series one looks worse. Some are saying the TVC one actually looks better.
Oh, you're right. They did show both of them at the same time, didn't they?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull up a picture here. My initial opinion was
I have it up right now if you want me to share it.
Yeah, John, go ahead if you got it.
Or can I share? How do I share on here? Oh, present. Okay. Slides, video file, share screen. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll answer the question too. Okay. I think the number one thing for me was probably Luke and Leia, and I wanted to pre-order them right away, and they weren't available, and I was like, "What? They're not coming out till next week." But for me, those were my top two from the show.
Luke's hair, it looks a little bowl cut, but the face looks pretty good.
Let's see if I can find Luke in here.
Since they've had so much trouble.
I was kind of on the fence, Gary. It didn't look as good to me, and then I did see a close-up picture from one of the guys in the UK, and it looked better.
Well, they've had so much trouble making him look, like a good sculpt of him. All of them have been like halfway there. But I thought this one, at least the face, like I said, the hair looks a little rough, but the face itself looks pretty good.
It's just
I'm looking forward to this one. I like this one quite a bit.
And Leia, I thought looks really good. Again, the face was I'm still a little, I don't know, maybe I got to see better pictures of it, but
I think the hair's off.
I love having the sculpted dress is great.
That one's a little bit blurry, but her face looks really good.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
But they've always nailed Leia. She's She always looks good.
They've done some good Leia head sculpts, yeah.
Well, that first one,
Well, that
they
one
did
I think looks
was
the best
not
they've ever
great.
done.
Well, that was the paint app, though. I took a Gen Urso that wasn't photoreal, cleaned all the paint off, repainted it, and the sculpt is good.
Mhm.
And I think it's the same thing with Leia. Those old paint apps were horrible.
Hey, John, what are you on right now? Just the Pulse website?
toyarc.com.
That looks fantastic.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be great. And I think this has got to be the vintage collection
Yeah,
one.
that is. But that does look good, though.
I noticed that I think the vintage one comes with the communicator, doesn't it? But the other one doesn't.
That might be true. There was something about I don't know what they called it too. They called it something besides, it was something like a droid. It was, whatever they used to lock down the droids from the Jawas.
Oh, the restraining bolt.
Can you go back to the Black
bolt or
Series?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you go back to the Black Series one there? I think there was something in the top right corner. Or is that
Binoculars.
just-
These are the binoculars he clips on his belt. Yeah.
Alright.
I think it's kind of silly though. Like we don't the vintage collection one gets the the unlit lightsaber, gets this thing, gets a full lightsaber. I don't know. I do like the head sculpt though in this. I think I'm definitely gonna be picking this up for my vintage collection for sure, and I probably will get the bigger one. I guess I gotta buy it too.
I've got the TVC here, right? The Leia that just came, and
so are they putting
really good figure?
So are they putting the Black Series? Oh no, they're not going to put it on a card, right?
No, it's in a box.
Yeah. It's gonna be in the new box. Okay. I'm sure eventually it will be put on a card. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I do
probably
like
for
them
50th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey John, let me present for
Go ahead.
I'm gonna see if this will work for me. I've got Fantha tracks.
Okay.
Actually, how'd you do that? Share screen.
Present.
Yeah.
Yeah. Share screen, and then you choose the window.
There it is. I'm sorry. I've done this so many times. Oh, look at that infinite mirror. All right, here you go. Can you see Leia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
She looks great.
So this is from Fantha Tracks Instagram, and this is them holding it in hand. And I think it looks really good.
Yeah, that's way better.
Yeah. And then they've got
the headpiece there.
The hood.
What's the round thing? Do you have to take her head off?
The collar.
It looks like you pop her head off. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe there's some flex in there or something, so you can. I don't know. It looks like it's one piece.
It does.
Yeah. Let me look at Luke.
Would you give that out of 10?
Oh, I give that a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, for a Black Series, whatever the MSRP, like that Luke looks nice.
Yeah. So let's look at the head sculpt.
That looks like the vintage one.
Daddy.
The hair looks
close.
This is the Black Series, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He said,
okay.
Yeah.
So let me go back to it here. He looks so young, and doesn't he look like a really young face there? I guess.
Yeah. It's hard to get Mark Hamill right for a $30 figure, right? So.
I just saw Lance Beer Luke's comment here. The face is good, but the hair just looks like a bowl cut.
That's
yeah.
I didn't see that, but that's I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the vintage collection ones. I think that one's hair looks better.
Yeah, we'll see. It's not out of package though, So.
Yeah, that changes things.
I guess here's the event, the video in the UK. So they had some people who were able to come in and see all the product. That's pretty cool.
I think there's Tim right there.
Yeah, they must have had a good time doing that.
If they ever want to get an influencer of my caliber out there, I'm happy to go out there.
You're happy to, yeah. Oh, look at all the G.I. Joe, yeah. Yep. Yeah, it looks like fun.
You okay? I agree with you, man. They should have put the blast shield helmet with it.
And here's
That would have
the
been a nice one.
here's the mural. Artwork looks a little different too. But
Looks nice. Looks better. Who does anybody know who does the actual artwork for Hasbro? Or
I don't know who does the current, these Galaxy boxes. I think there were interviews that the Black Series Cantina guys had with one of the original artists who did all the black and white, kind of etching style artwork. And he said that once the line was evolving into the Galaxy art, they chose different artists or something, and maybe they were expanding it, So it changed. I don't know.
So I'm guessing that means that he's not doing it anymore.
He's not doing it. He went up to the end of the red line, or almost to the end of the red line, and he did almost all of them himself, and then he was supposed to be training somebody to copy his style or something like that.
Well, I know one guy that could nail this really well. I don't know if you guys ever seen him, Manga Fangdanga. Like he could match that caliber stuff right there.
Yeah. So here, this is a good picture right here that Fantatrax has. So these are the 6 Black Series reveals. What do you guys think of these? As far as 6-inch Black Series,
I am really excited for Seashore.
Yeah, Igzor.
Yeah, he's been one of my favorite expanded universe guys for years.
He might be one of the best Black Series figures of all time so far.
That's a high bar to reach. You think so, huh?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you got Destroyer Droid, and you're wanting to put it above it?
We'll have to see it. We'll have to see it when it
but
comes out.
Droid, I don't know, for human characters or human-esque characters.
I will even say alien characters. We could definitely maybe put it in like the top 5 for like alien.
Okay.
So for me, I'm not. I didn't read or see or play any of those games or anything. So it's like I just missed that era of Star Wars. But I know a lot of you guys totally love it. So
good, man.
It's one of the best eras, man. You got to catch up on that, Dave.
Yeah.
I will have to go back and do my homework.
Did you read all the books when you were younger?
I did not. No.
Oh man, you missed out on. I mean, it went nuts. Like once they got into Yuzhan Vong War, like it went absolutely insane. Some of them were really good books.
So I was actually excited about this figure, the droid, the commando droid. I think that's a really cool design for.
I love the giant machete it comes with.
Yeah. So I think that was one that I ordered today because that was the one I pulled the trigger on. I was like, I'm going to get that one.
Yeah, they've been doing such a good job on the droids lately. I don't know who in the world is behind those designs, but like they are just so good.
Yeah,
I mean I'm looking at.
And we're getting a new commander. That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, Bakara looks great.
In Bakara, he looks good.
He's so good. He's so good. The pit droids even better. I mean, how in the world?
Yeah.
They just keep doing so well with the droids.
Yeah, they look good. Here's your Prince Caesar here. Yeah. He does look, I mean, the purple and the gold and the green, the color scheme is great. It's like pure villain,
Yeah.
It's a cool looking figure.
I
love, and the back, honestly, what gets me is that sculpting on the back that they have. It looks so nice.
Yeah, they showed that on the stream. Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
It's so good.
So what do you think, John? Top 5 for sure?
We'll I got to think about all the aliens. I'm not going to say top 5 ever, top 5 of everything, but like it's one of my favorite characters. That's gonna bump it up a little bit. I like that, like the robe piece here is cloth. With Bib Fortuna, I mean, he had a lot of his stuff that was like real. It's hard to like make him look like he's doing anything other than just standing in one position. So I'm excited for him. I think he looks really good, and he will do what he needs to do.
Yep. So some good stuff here for sure. I'm gonna come out of this presenting mode. Stop sharing. There we go. All right, coming back. I need 2 monitors, man. I can't monitor the chat when I'm doing that. I got to figure out.
It's nice. What do y'all think of the vintage collection Mos Eisley Cantina?
Big thumbs up for me.
Yeah,
I like it. What about you guys?
Looking at pictures of it, man, it's like I haven't gone for like some of this stuff before, but I think I may go for this one depending on the price.
Yeah, what are they? I like the fact that they offered a better version of the Jawa with it, but it would be nice if they offered some other figure that's never been made or has been made, maybe an upgrade at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll take it.
Yeah, Jawas are good because you can always have a bunch of Jawas, you know.
I like the fact they have the little greeting droid, the little eyeball droid.
Yeah,
that is fun.
Some energy shields. This is Dan from Yokai Customs. He's an awesome Black Series customizer. So I got to meet him at our show last year, and he's done some amazing customs.
Are you talking about the energy shields that were in the? Yeah, okay, yeah, the shadow. I know what you're talking about. But it's almost like they split apart into like a fan. I'm thinking that's what you're talking about, Yokai.
Yeah, Dan, you know, you could get John here to design something for you too, because John's done a lot of like blast effects type designs and stuff.
I might have to do that. I did bring Moma's gun into
nice
real life.
Yeah.
So did you make that?
Yeah, because I mean, not all of us had a Power of the Force too. I mean, to be fair, I did.
Because originally I thought that came out of the vintage Power of the Force, and it was just big enough for.
So I don't have the original gun anymore, and then I went and bought another MoMA, and he's hanging up on my office wall up at school, and so yeah, I didn't even really measure it. I just kind of like eyeballed it, and I was like, all right, that looks like that probably fits.
Is that on the Patreon?
Yeah. It's been up for a while.
Dan's going to use his actual Power of the Force blaster with his.
It works. I think this is about the same size as the Power of the Force blaster. So like if you and Mike Case put his on, and it actually looks pretty good. Fun thing with mine is actually the little holes on the tips are big enough for like Marvel Legends, like fire effects or whatever to fit in there. So actually, I was like plugging it in, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's cool." I didn't intend that, but all right, we'll go with that.
Those smoke effects that the Marvel Legends have are cool too. You know, the smoking pistol.
Yeah, it works really well.
Yeah.
I wonder. Will it? Nope. Okay.
I'm trying to do flames.
Well, yeah, they're a little too. I got Torch from G.I. Joe. I was trying to see if like that would fit in, but I think it's just a little too big. But
you got a lot of weight on that piece. You need a little more.
Yeah, I think the hole's a little too shallow too, so maybe I can.
Yeah.
Fill that. That'd be kind of fun.
You can drill that out.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, what did you guys pick up from the PulseCon? What did you pre-order anything?
Nothing yet.
Nothing for you, Gary.
Now I'm gonna get a couple of those step speeders, but
they said that's an exclusive.
Some other projects I need to take care of first.
Yeah,
I think they're still in stock right now, aren't they?
I didn't check today. They
were in stock at least yesterday, last night when I was looking.
You guys think that? Yeah, we didn't talk about the Stap speeder, but that's the battle droid on the Stap.
Still in stock.
I think it's going to sell pretty well, though. I think that's a pretty good item. I mean, do you guys agree with for Black Series?
Yes.
I'll probably pick.
Can you show it again? Do you got a picture of it, or?
I have Hasbro Pulse up right now. If you want me.
Yeah, John, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry.
You know, the Out of the Basement guys were talking that the Stap speeder and the Sith speeder with Maul. Where Hasbro was going to be kind of testing the market to see how ships were going to do, and the sales of these. So I'm going to get a couple of these because I want.
Oh, that looks good.
I think it looks really nice. I mean, it's yeah. I'm curious. Like the staff is always one of my more favorite speeders. Of course, once they do the updated Anakin 6-inch, you gotta like pair them up right and
Yeah.
put them on there.
Do you guys think it's undersized, John? Does it look a little small to you at all, or you think that's okay?
I don't know. I'd have to look at it.
Yeah.
Like mine, actually, I have mine sitting over here. It's a little bent up because it's been just kind of sitting and a little broken too. But I don't know if you guys can see.
Yeah, yours looks taller.
Yeah, but to be fair, I was also going with more of like Doug Chang's designs, like what he was going for. So I have to be
And for those who don't know, this is the model you designed.
Yeah. This is a model I designed for my Patreon members, and this is more based off of like Doug Chang's from Ireland, his like initial paintings and stuff. I think for episode 1. So I think mine's like a little more angular. They have more of the bow in theirs. It does look like it could be a little short, but I think it works for me.
Below the foot pedals, it looks shorter than yours.
Yeah. Well, again, I think
similar.
I'm accentuating things.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to pretend that I'm like trying to be accurate to the movie. I'm trying to be accurate to the artwork, or at least influenced by the artwork.
So Dan mentioned in the chat here the Bandai model kit. Do any of you guys have that?
Yeah.
Did you build it, John?
I did, and it fell apart immediately. I had it, and yeah. I'm not a fan of the model kits. The Bandai Star Wars model kits for me they fall apart really quick.
It's funny. I have it as well, and that's what I have on my shelf is the Bandai model kit with the staff, and I've just had it standing there with my Black Series collection for a long time. I built it probably 4 years ago or something.
Yeah.
So
it looks good.
I like it. Yeah.
It looks great.
I looked it up on eBay though. It's going for over $100 for that model kit. Crazy.
Shoot, I guess I need to dig mine out.
Yeah, you might want to. So that's what I think Hasbro coming out with this is $50, right? $49.99, I think.
Yep, $49.99.
Yeah.
And the figure.
I'm just gonna go and add that to my cart.
I think this is probably a good buy. I think most Black Series collectors will probably want to get this. I think it's a good, good value and a good item for the collection.
One of the funny things was I remember, this is one of those like preview figures for episode 1, and so I remember like what was like a month or so before episode 1 released, and like Walmart was starting to get figures in, and I remember this being up there, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. This is this robot with this weird speeder I've never seen before. This is so neat. And then, you get it out of the box, and the only way the thing hangs on is it has the floppiest arms ever. So the arms don't actually like do anything. Yeah. But it was still a lot of fun.
That's funny. So, John, did you order anything from Pulse?
I haven't ordered anything. I will probably eventually get this. Again, part of it was like yesterday. I was like driving, so like I didn't really think about it. I will probably end up getting that. I don't think I really saw anything in G.I. Joe that I was like, I gotta get. No, nothing for Transformers.
Yeah, I don't collect Transformers really.
I feel like for me, Transformers is one of those things like where if I buy something, it's got to be something that's like super nostalgic and important for me, like the Dragon Megatron. That's like the only Transformer I've bought in quite a while. I will definitely be getting Zjor. I don't know about Indara because I passed her up on Black Series. I don't know.
You might consider for TVC, really?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Is it just because it's Carrie-Anne Moss, or
I do love Carrie-Anne Moss. She's Trinity. Like, how can you not love Carrie-Anne Moss? Imperial Officer, probably will skip her. she's a fun character, but I'll probably skip her. Definitely getting Anakin. Definitely would get Commando Droid. Definitely would be getting Vintage Collection Luke. I really do like that head sculpt. Don't think I need the helmet. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Bakara, maybe.
Then you get Marvel Legends. They're redoing the Secret Wars figures, guys.
Yeah, I actually kind of really like. I love brown suit Wolverine. Yeah. I might get the Wolverine, but I was hoping they would do them on the new Wolverine body that they did the Astonishing on, and I don't think this is Astonishing's body.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the waist. I think they changed up the torso for Astonishing, but he looks really cool.
Yeah, and then the black suit Spider-Man that got my I almost bought that, but then I took it out. I was like, I don't know if I need that.
Yeah, he looks good. I mean, to be fair, it's a black suit Spider-Man. I was trying to figure out which Spider-Man body they're using.
Yeah,
and
doesn't have the toes.
No, it doesn't have the toes. The torso looks good. I like the torso, so it might be that one from like the card back for the show, for the cartoon. I don't remember which one that one is, but it might be that one.
Yeah. Well, we're getting off track. We should stay on Star Wars because that's our main.
I'm sorry.
No, I looked at the Marvel stuff too. Let's hear from Nick. Nick, did you?
Yeah,
I don't know if did you pre-order anything yet, or what will you pre-order? You think from these?
I'm trying to stay away from pre-ordering anything anymore. I just like buying it when it's in stock. And I'm not worried about things kind of popping up now. The COVID rush to get stuff, I'm not going to fall into those traps anymore. So it'll show up.
Healthy thing.
You know, no, I just, and I don't know. Sometimes you miss out on other deals, when you're pre-ordering, and then you end up finding it and then getting it again in the mail because you forgot you pre-ordered it. So I'm just not going to do that unless it's like a HasLab or something that's really going to sell out. But even then, you can always find it somewhere. So
what did you really like? What caught your attention?
Obviously all the OT stuff, I think, in Black Series and the Vintage Collection. And
like
obviously been waiting. Yeah, we've been waiting for that Farm Boy Luke for ages, right? So especially in TVC, like 3 3/4, that's been, but Black Series 2, getting a better version, I think is a must, especially with the tech now that's come out in the last 2 years, like holy cow. But I think that's it. Just buy everything.
Yeah, that's your mantra. Buy everything. Buy doubles. Buy triples.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
what it feels like with TVC and Black Series putting out the same stuff on the same days.
Yeah.
Sorry, David, you were saying something.
I was just saying my view on pre-orders has changed a bit too, but I still will pre-order something that I really want it, and I think there might be a reasonable chance of it hard to find at retail. So if it's a really cool Spider-Man or one of those main characters that I really like the one I pre-ordered, the only one I pre-ordered was the Commando Droid because I want that one, and I think if that comes to the shelf at Target or Walmart, I think that'll get snatched up pretty quick. So I figure I'll just have Pulse send it to me. But
it's pretty random. I wanted a Merrick from Ahsoka, and I couldn't find one retail. And then I heard that they stopped making them, so I ordered one. Is it Merrick? Merrick? How do you say his name?
The suited Sith guy from the Ahsoka show. He turned into green mist.
Oh, yeah. Zombie guy.
Yeah, exactly. So I ordered him from Australia. And then I was in some little country town, went in Walmart, and there he is.
Wow.
You found him on the pegs? Wow.
Yep.
That's awesome. I've run into a few things recently that have been like just kind of pop up out of nowhere, and you're right, it's like just like some random Walmart or some random Target, and yeah. Actually, I find I'm luckier the further away from Houston I get, because there's a lot of people that like just scour all the Targets and Walmarts around the Houston area. But like if I get further out, I run into, have better luck.
Well, when they went to the plastic-free packaging, it seemed like there was a lot of people bailing out.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if we're seeing the repercussions of that, because I see a lot of figures at Walmart these days. And once upon a time, I hardly seen any.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird that and even Amazon has figures, laying around a lot longer than they used to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the scalpers have all dried up, and they were buying out stock, and then you had people making a business off of that. So they would clear out the stock, and then you'd see it back on Amazon a week later for instead of $19.99 or whatever for $35 or whatever plus shipping or something. So I think they've all cleared out now, most of them, anyways.
It's a cool pickup here. Dan got the Micro Galaxy Squadron Gungan sub for $6 at Target.
I got that yesterday for $6 too.
Did you? I'll have to go check mine. I haven't seen it go low like that.
They had that and the V-Wing from Rogue One for like $9.
Oh yeah, the U-Wing, yeah.
U-Wing, yeah.
Yeah, I think
I saw them and I'm like, well, didn't necessarily want these, but I guess I'm gonna get these now. So
I got a file to print a 1/12 scale U-Wing, and I'm
really
it's huge, but it's nice.
Yeah, I know Nathan's been like bugging me, or well, I shouldn't say bug, but he's been requesting that quite a bit for the U-Wing, and it's still not a design that I'm like super like pumped about, but it is a fun ship. I mean, I like the wings and all that. It's a cool thing.
It's big too. It's maybe 4 feet long.
I mean, maybe if the damn wings weren't twice the length of the ship, maybe they wouldn't be so big. But yeah.
Yeah, the file I have, the cockpit is like, or the main body is like 4 pieces, and it fills up the printer bed on my 5.
You're going to do this in Black Series? It's crazy.
I know, it's cool though.
There's no way. It's a huge ship.
Even in vintage collection, it'd still be a pretty big ship.
It would be.
I got a 1/12 Phantom 2 sitting right here. So
no, you don't. That doesn't exist. You better show some stuff off, Gary. It's probably that time for the show when Gary shows his amazing ships. Oh man! All right, I'm gonna make your screen big here. Hang on.
I've got
some LEDs in that thing.
Putting lights and fiber optics in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's
Oh wow!
Wait, show us Chopper again. Hold it up again.
Oh yeah.
It's so satisfying when you slide Chopper in there.
Is that the actual Black Series figure? Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah,
I had hair sitting in there a while ago, but I took her out. And then
so just point out, you could also put R2-D2 in there too. So any Black Series astromech you can put in that slot.
And just for people watching don't know, John is the one who designed that file, right?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, John made that, and this is the other.
Oh,
come on back real quick.
There we go. Oh yeah.
I've got a couple little things I'm working on this one.
Is that the glass that you printed separately?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that worked out well.
LEDs here and back there.
That looks so good.
Wow.
Open those wings. Open them. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I put a magnet under there to keep it closed.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Smart.
I need to make that now.
But I'm just working out some bugs, and I'm going to start doing some commissions.
Hey, bring it back over here.
How do you see the canopy? Can you talk a little bit about the canopy there?
Yeah.
Well, the canopy is being a pain in my backside. I printed the frame separately, and then printed the glass. And getting the glass in there and getting it fixated has been tough. So I'm going to print the whole thing in clear resin and just paint the frame and do away with some of the issues I'm having.
Well, tell them the initial thought process, because we went back and forth on this quite a bit. Because like what you're doing right now was the initial like thought, of doing it as one piece. But you had an idea for doing the glass cheaply and quickly. I thought that actually
The vacuum
probably
forming,
worked. Yeah, I thought that could have worked.
it probably could. I think the hot plate I have wasn't heating up the PETG plastic good enough, and I don't think I had a good form to pull against because it's got to be pretty solid. So I would have had to reinforce uh, the form to pull against.
So Gary,
It almost seems like that had to be like a custom. I could take like the glass and like pull the edges down to give it a flat bottom, and then that would be something to like form against maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the plastic's got to get pretty hot uniformly. It can't just be hot in the middle because then it's just going to stretch in the middle and not on the sides. And so trying to get the piece of plastic hot enough everywhere. I even had a heat gun, trying to work with it, and it was just being fickle.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to summarize then, where you're at now is you want to try printing the whole thing in clear resin and then just painting the lines of the frame of the
Yeah. See, because you can the resin you can sand it with. I mean, I'll start with 180 wet sandpaper to get out some of the imperfections and come back with 400. You can follow that up with 600. You can go as fine as you want. Sometimes you can polish that and make it see-through. I've just been hitting it with a little acrylic clear, and it's good enough. I mean, it's not crystal clear, but it's good enough.
Yeah, Nathan was doing his. I don't know how much sanding he was doing, but he was getting it looking really, really good.
We used to, when I was painting cars, we had this, because I did a lot of color sanding, and we'd finish up with 1,500, maybe 2,000, but there was this back then, this diamond dust 3,600 cloth, and when you finished sanding clear with that, it looked like it just needed to be waxed. And I think he was going that far.
Mm-hmm.
But polishing that type of plastic, it's easy to burn it. I mean, you got to be pretty careful if you're going to polish it. So, but he bought a type of clear. It was a catalyzed rattle can clear. That had, it had a hardener and activator in it.
Yeah.
So it was only good for so long, but that's like automotive quality clear.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good stuff. What you buy from, Rust-Oleum, it's air dried clear. It's not great, but it does the job. But what Nathan was using was a real high quality clear.
Yeah, and so you're still wanting to try to sell these things, and so the difference between what Nathan and by the way, those who don't know, Nathan is another member of the Patreon, and he runs Clanker Commission. Yeah, Clanker Customs. Very talented maker also, and so the difference between what Gary was wanting to do with the vacuum forming, if that was successful, you could make a dozen of them in 10 minutes.
Yes.
And they would be clear because they would be your ABS or PLA plastic that you're vacuum forming and just shrinking down. Whereas the work that's going into the polishing, I mean that's hours of work just for the glass.
And when you print the whole with the glass and the frame together, the frame it's raised a little bit, so you're having to sand around these little fine edges because you don't want to sand those edges down. So it's very taxing, and I was trying my best to avoid it, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get around it. So,
well, we tried. We tried. I still think maybe that it'd be worth revisiting the vacuum former if you can get it to work, because that would be a great way to do anything, do a number of them.
Well, the way I built my vacuum form, I built it to use a hot plate. But there's ways you can make a steel frame that you can put into a toaster oven.
So you're using a hot plate.
Yeah, I would underneath it.
Plastic underneath it. Okay,
Yeah,
and then you're raising the plastic up.
Yep, the plastic's in a frame, a wood frame. I set it down on top of the hot plate, but the hot plate was only getting it real hot in the middle, which isn't real conducive for what I was trying to do.
What about what are those heat bulbs they use to like keep food hot? What if you had something like that? Because that could cover more of an area, and you could put it up above the plastic, and then have the plastic raised up closer to it, and then when it's ready, it'll start to like droop, and then you bring it down and turn that on.
I saw one vacuum forming, and it was like a 36-inch by 36-inch sheet, and it did that. It pulled up to this heating element, and then it was sagging down, and then they pushed it down onto the vacuum. That would work great. There's some trial and error, and I probably will revisit it because, like you said, you can do multiples, just one right after another.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crystal.
Gary, I don't know anything about vacuum forming. Can you use a metal frame? Would that get hot and keep the edges of the plastic hotter? I mean, I don't know. The wood might be taking.
I don't know about that, but the metal frame, the one that I saw, the guy made, and he put it into a toaster oven, and so it was able to do even heating from top and bottom, not just from the bottom in a little circular area. So that would be the better choice. I thought the way I could do it was going to be sufficient because the plate, the volume area that I have is not big because the canopies for these ships they're not huge, so I kept it kind of small, and I thought I could get away with the hot plate.
Yeah. How much a vacuum forming a vacuum table even costs?
Well, I watched a few videos on YouTube, and some guys did homemade, and it's real basic design. So I made it with some scrap wood that I keep laying around. Bought a couple of hinges, a few other little things, but I don't know what it cost, but it wasn't much.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Well, okay, I'm seeing one for like $600, so you could definitely build one for cheaper. I mean, I remember a professor in college. He built one in our sculpture class, and it did the job. They made a heating element. I think they took like a heating element off of something, like a wire heating element, like installed it up above, and it worked out pretty well.
Mythbuster guy Adam Savage, I think he's got one, and he did one of his episodes on vacuum forming, and it's a great tool if you can get it to work for what you need it for.
We'll see that if you ever get into making like cosplay items, that'd be a wonderful way to like reproduce, like one item a bunch of times. That'd be really useful. Yeah. Cool.
Well, we're getting into the technicals of 3D print.
You're getting an education here.
Yeah.
He says he wants an hour.
You guys,
12.
Good opportunity to plug your Patreon too, right, John? Because anybody watching, you want to get into 3D printing and meet some of these guys who are doing it and learn from them.
He's got just easy little things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patreon.com/Layer Creations. I also have this guy.
I still got.
Oh, hang on.
I still got a couple of things to do. Oh yeah, that one. I printed that, and it was an easy print, but I used the wrong resin, so I got to get some flexible resin. But yeah, that's going to be a great one.
Yeah,
That's great, John.
I accidentally broke his back foot off today, but he's fun. I like him. Use high quality resins. You'll enjoy it so much more. But it's got 30 points.
John,
and it's great.
Like when you're using those high, like perhaps high quality resins, like do they? How long do they last? Like years? Are they going to last like any other toy? Or
it depends on how you're using them. So so that the ankle right here that snapped, that was one of the better resins. That was a K resin, and I'm not. It's kind of bringing up a thing where I'm going to have to consider why it snapped and think about maybe that's more of like a design decision or design issue.
John, did it snap just while you were articulating it? You mean, or you didn't drop
Yeah,
it?
yeah, and it's one of those things where like it sat for a while, and I think like the joints just got a little stuck, and so I picked it up and
Yeah.
moved it in, and it snapped on me. But like other joints aren't having that issue, so it is a little tight. I'll give it that, but I mean, the other foot, I didn't have the issue with it. So some of the things that I thought about was maybe not using resin for some of these joints, using something like PLA or PETG filament for those joints might be a better option. Now, something like this small, that's going to be hard because those are really small joints. But like the Rancor, that's actually a better option for using something like PETG because PETG is pretty strong. It's a pretty strong filament. Like for example, I use PETG for like my my filament holders, and so these are basically these brackets that hold up like 2.5 poundfuls of filament constantly, and then there's a constant movement friction on it, and so like a something that's printed in PLA actually would wear away after a few years. PETG, I've had stuff sitting there for 5-6 years and it's never worn away, so it's really good filament. So yeah. Now I do always tell people I do make them like toys, but they are still not toys as much as I want them to be, unless they come out with some sort of resin that's like truly that truly beats ABS plastic. But
yeah, I guess that's the like you want it as tough as a toy, but
yeah, I would love for it to be. I mean, there's things that like still like amaze me. The fact that like I was able to get these little needles on the back of the thing to be as flexible as they are. Like they're not breaking. And overall, it's got pretty good movement. It's just every once in a while you'll grab something wrong, just go and snap, which is unfortunate.
The last time we live streamed, I think you just had your first resin prints. You were still fitting parts and stuff, and you were showing us. You didn't have anything painted yet. I know that. That's pretty cool.
Are you talking about on this guy?
Yeah, the Nexu. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've shown you. Yeah, this one probably also I've shown you. I guess definitely showed you Randy, but then also the Tauntaun.
Yeah, you did the Tauntaun one time. Yeah.
I still need to get that thing put together. I don't ever remember to get it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good though.
So the PLA, even the things like, the ships I've done, I do those in PLA. I mean, I don't know how long are they going to last just sitting there, not something that you're going to mess with, because I know PLA is not a great plastic. It's great for what I use it for. It takes primer and paint real well. But it's very sensitive to heat. It'll warp in a heartbeat. So
it kind of depends.
Life?
No, I mean if it's sitting in your house and you have AC on and it's not sitting like, you know what? Even if it's just sitting in your house, I've never had an issue with PLA warping or having issues where it falls apart. The reason why it's the most widely used filament for home printing is for a damn good reason. It's really, really useful. It's tough. It's I don't want to call it brittle. It's really stiff. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to sand. So it's useful for those types of purposes. It's not very flexible, but it's good. Now, living in South Texas, I remember living in a rental house where I was taking some prints outside in the middle of summer, 110-degree summer. I set them on my grill, my metal grill, and I primered them.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, what happens, but if I did the same thing and just set them on, say, my lawn chair, I didn't have the same issue. And that's just simply just because that radiant heat just really gets to them. I've had PLA prints that I've left in my car, and if they're under like direct sunlight, then there might be an issue with it getting soft. If they're in the back of my car, covered out of the sun, it's still 120 degrees, but it's not direct heat. And so I think that works.
Well, how hot?
Okay.
What's the temperature like on the extruder when it melts the coil?
200 Celsius.
Yeah,
I do 200.
220 Celsius, which is around
That's
450.
really hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 200 is probably 424.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
So it's it'd be like cooking a pizza.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot. But the thing is with PLA, it has a glassing temperature where it begins to melt. It gets a little bit soft around like 125, 135 degrees. And it doesn't like fall apart or anything at that temperature, but it starts to warp. Now, something like PET G, that prints around 250, I think. Does that sound about right, Gary?
Yeah, I don't know. I've only printed PLA and ABS, and ABS is I think at like 235.
Yeah,
so PET G is probably in that same ballpark.
I want to say PET G is a little bit higher than because I'd have to always run it up a little bit, so it's like close to like 500, 480, something like that. But the thing is, its glassing temperature is way higher than the PLA, so it's not going to start warping in the same temperature range in my experiences.
Yeah, you can get PLA too. You can work with it running it under hot water.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually run things under hot water and just kind of manipulated them a little bit.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I would heat gun stuff and it would warm it up and I could take like a bad warp print and like warp it back flat. It would mostly work.
Yeah.
So they would keep that blurg out of the sunlight.
Oh, I will, my friend. I will. No,
Yeah.
he's done great. He's been it's been a few years now, hasn't it? It's probably been like 3 or 4 years.
Probably 3.
So he's doing good.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about what you have in your room. Like it's not going to fall apart. I have run into issues with resin popping actually, and this Gary.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What popping?
So let me see.
See, and painting resin, like PLA is very sensitive to solvents. So when you prime PLA, it's going to bite into that plastic. And resin, I'm not real familiar with those type of plastics because when I was painting cars, we had plastic emblem or adhesives that we would put on before we started painting because plastic is difficult to get things to stick to. PLA is very easy to get things to stick to, but resin. This is kind of new territory for me. So,
resin is pretty. Once it cures fully, I've found that resin is pretty stable. But if it's not fully cured, and if it's almost like something when like water freezes, there's an expansion, and sometimes an expansion where in a place where there are other parts of the print is not expanding can cause like a crack or a pop. So this is one reason why putting drain holes in your prints is a really big thing you need to do. So we can find.
And that's if it's hollow. If it's solid, you don't. Of course, you don't have to do that.
No, but you also are using like twice as much resin. So one issue I ran into, and it's actually not even this one. It's his arm. This is Batcher, the Batcher Hound from Bad Batch.
Oh yeah.
So his arm, apparently, I didn't get all the resin out of one of the arm pieces, and it was a hollow tube essentially. And so the outside cured, the inside apparently wasn't cured because it didn't get washed all the way, and so that arm just like split open. And that took maybe like a month or two, a couple of months after I initially finished with it. So that's a big thing. Make sure you always wash your resin prints like thoroughly.
The inside.
Yeah, wash and that's so you'll if you ever do like a hollow print, you always want to make sure that you have drain holes all over the print, so you can get alcohol in there to wash out the resin properly.
So I had an experience with that once. I ordered a 3D printed throne, the Book of Boba Fett throne, that sits on Jabba's palace. And I got one of those for Black Series scale, and I had to put it together. I think it came in 4 pieces, like the 2 arms, the back, and the base. But the base was full of wet resin when I got it, and I was sanding, and I was like, "What?" And then it cracked, and it started leaking out. And this was my first time ever handling a resin print. I didn't know what was going on, and I got it all over myself and everything.
It's nasty stuff.
And yeah, and I was like, "What? This isn't supposed to be like." So I just didn't know, but yeah, there was no drain holes in that print or anything. That was it was trapped in there.
Yeah.
And
so if you weren't careful, eventually it could have popped open and then drained resin all over the place.
It did pop open when I was sanding it. When I was trying to fit it together, and I was trying to force it because it just didn't.
So
it wasn't the best quality print.
It too thin. The walls were too thin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing with the resin: if you're not careful, David, it can actually give you a chemical burn.
Yep.
So you really have to.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I don't think I had gloves on or anything. I think I just washed my hands, but yeah.
And that can be dangerous. Like if the kid is handling it, or if someone doesn't know, it can be bad. And when I first started, I didn't know. I've so many times I've had I thought I got all the resin off my hands, and then I'd go to rub my eye. And then I'll feel like burning right here, so I'd have to go and take a shower or something to get it all off me. But it was just, it's nasty stuff. So anytime anyone says "Oh, I want to get into printing," I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to get into resin printing. I'm like, okay, have you ever printed anything ever before? And they go, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with a filament printer. Just start with a filament printer. Yeah, and
at the end, same thing. Uncured resin inside. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It really is, because nothing is going to cure that resin inside. It's just going to stay liquid forever, and so eventually it will pop out and come out. And I ran into that because I was dumb and I didn't know, and so I had to fix that with a few customers. So
I printed this months ago. John, you recognize that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's my controls.
All those holes back there.
Yeah.
And this is, like I said, this has been months ago. I've been waiting to use it, and it's holding up great. So those drain holes are a must.
Yeah, they're not pretty, but they're a must.
I printed that, and I printed that solid. I didn't have to put any holes in it, and it's fine. So you just have to, like John said, you have to know a little bit. And some of it's a learning experience. You figure out, and I do that all the time. Most of what I know is because I screwed something up.
Same.
I got a question for Gary and John. Outside of 3D printing, do you guys ever venture into, I don't know, milling your parts or certain things that you think that maybe would be better than doing a 3D print? Would it make any sense?
Yeah, no, there's definitely better ways of doing things. So I don't, simply because I don't have. So okay,
You're saying metal. What are you talking? Milling wood, metal? Is that what you're saying, Nick?
Yeah, not milling. Yeah, you get a lay or whatever, maybe make a bunch of canopies or something, or say it's a ship or whatever. You want certain parts, maybe, I don't know, if you're making them out of aluminum, or I don't know, whatever composite that you think is outside of a 3D printer can do.
I used to make a lot of stuff out of wood. I did from episode 3 when Anakin and Obi-Wan were fighting, and the platform they were on in the lava. I built that platform out of wood, and but because I used to do paint and body work, some of that stuff comes a little easier for me. But the trying to find the right medium and the right media to make things, and then trying to fabricate them. The 3D printing makes it a lot easier. I don't know if you've ever watched these guys that do studio scale ships, and they'll build these things from scratch with those sheets of plastic, and that's amazing.
And they'll just get like model kits and stuff, and like
they'll kit bash a bunch of model kits, but it takes them 3 years.
Yeah,
and
you don't know exactly what it's going to look like at the very end.
And it takes so long to build one. And then trying to do it like for scale, like for Black Series, I've kicked myself a million times for not going vintage collection because of the ships.
It seems to come up every time we talk.
I know.
Gary, 67%. Just bring it down. 67.
I'm committed to the Black Series. So
I know.
You can do both, or just
well. I'm doing Godzilla now.
There you go.
But trying to build these ships that large, it's it'd take a lot of time and a lot of figuring out. I've got
TVC.
I got 5 TVC ships. When I decided, it was like being in the state of Alabama, you have to pick Alabama or Auburn. So I had to put Black Series or Vintage Collection. I went Black Series.
That's like South Carolina. It's got to be either Clemson,
So
or a chicken. So
hey, I like that you're doing that. I mean, it's great that you guys are offering it out there because nobody else is going to do it.
Well, you have a point though. So, let me answer your question though, before I lose my thought though, because you bring up a really good point. I think, in terms of saving money, you could do this for a lot cheaper with just buying like foam and cutting it and putting it together, 100%. But I think for where I'm coming from, my training, my background is digital from animation, and so that's where I'm coming from. And since I teach at a university level, I'm teaching animation, I'm teaching stuff like that. Like that's where I'm kind of merging the two together, because I can digitally make this stuff, and then I can, and then I'm doing it in ZBrush, and that's what I've been doing for a long time. And especially since my practice is switched from making things for customers to making things for people to make for their customers or for them to make on their own, it's easier for me to do this, digitally, so that other people can replicate it. That makes it easier for me, and I think works out a little bit better. But yeah, like like if I was going to do, like, say, my Cantina playset, if I was going to make that from scratch or something, you could take, foam board and make a Cantina. I did that when I was 7 years old, and it probably would go a little bit faster than actually trying to print it because it's stupid big. Now, if you wanted to make 10 of them, I think printing is probably the way to go, because it's you can replicate as much as you want.
And it takes guys like John making these files to be able to have things that we'll never get. Hasbro will never make. The Rancor. Yeah. I tried to tell everybody I 3D print one that before John made his, that it's hardly articulated, and I was selling those for $350, $375.
Well, think about where that one came from, though.
Yeah,
that was a 3D scan
of the original Black Series. 118
375 one.
Yeah.
Right. And so that was made digitally, so then that can be shared and sent out, and
But until they start mass producing things like this Jedi Interceptor or this Ghost, Phantom 2, it's going to be up to the 3D printing community to make these things, and like John was saying, to do one from scratch, man, and I'm sure it might even be a better product, but it would take 2 or 3 years to make it, and then to make another one. And then if I wanted to sell that, if you're investing that much time and innovation, it would be pretty pricey. This Jedi Intercept here, I might sell it for $400. If I were to build that from scratch, man, it'd be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I would buy it Yokai Customs.
That's the. Oh, okay. I know which one that one is.
Yeah.
What other options do you have for an X-wing though? There's not many options.
Dan, I'll add. I have the one that came out a few years ago that they're re-releasing, and it's really good. I opened it up and I love it. It's very cool. So
is it worth the $99 they're going to be charging for it?
Yeah,
I think so. I think it is. I mean, I think I paid like $75 when I got mine a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The sculpt looks really good. So.
I've been trying to decide if I wanted to get the Naboo Starfighter one that came out with Mandalorian, because that one actually looks pretty good too. But
which one?
Yeah, I got one in there too.
The one from Mandalorian.
Oh, the N1.
The N1.
Yeah, season 3.
Yeah, that's a cool ship.
I'm surprised they haven't done that for Black Series, because I don't think that would be too big.
Yeah, it would.
No, it wouldn't. The Jabba's sail barge
like
is
that.
4 feet long.
Yeah.
The Naboo fighter would be 36 inches long.
That's big, though. That is big.
4
You
feet.
should see my dad, John. You should see my dad's model airplanes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sure, but like that's a different level of consumer. Like, that is a different level of consumer that like does a 4 foot long Naboo starfighter. Because like, come on, I know how big mine is. That's a weird sentence. I know how big my Naboo starfighter is. Sorry.
You're never scaled correctly.
Why is everyone so obsessed with sizes? I just don't understand. But anyway, no, like the one I made, like that one would be about 3.5 feet long. The one that Nathan printed from, I don't remember where he got it from, but that one, I think that one was even bigger. So, and that was completely impractical. And then someone was insane and ordered a 1/6 scale from him.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
An X-wing fighter, a Black Series X-wing fighter, would be 42 inches long. That's not too big for a HasLab. If they did a sail barge that was 4 feet long, they could do an X-wing fighter that's 42 inches long.
If it was me, I would scale it down a little bit, though. Like for something to actually put up on your wall, I would scale it down. If it was me.
Well, when you open up the wings, I mean that's going to take up some. But I mean, you put it up. A lot of Americans have.
Well, listen.
We have bigger houses here in North America. I think we're listening to our British friends there. They have puny little places, So it's sort of.
That's what TVC is for. That's for the British people with the tiny houses.
Hey, now,
John, the G.I. Joe Rattler that just was a HasLab, just funded.
Yeah,
it's got to be similar to what an X-wing would be, I would think.
But you can turn the rotors to the side.
Yeah, and the wings folded
in. So. Yeah. Oh wait, I'm sorry. You said Rattler. I was thinking of the helicopter. Yeah. No, you can fold the wings
jet.
in. Yeah, you can fold the wings up on that Rattler, can't you?
Right. They added that feature to it, so it makes it more shelf friendly.
How long is it?
It depends how you display it, right? I mean, you put it flat up against a wall, an X-wing. It's like a big picture, But if you want it faced out in front of you with its wings opened, it's going to,
Yeah.
You just have to have a dedicated man cave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we all have to have that.
I have a dedicated man niche.
Chop a few trees down and put it a little extension on the house or whatever. And
all right, I got the dimensions on the Rattler are 33.5 inches long, 32 inches wide. So it's still smaller than an X-wing would be.
Yeah.
Well, the N1, like I said, I'm almost certain an N1 would be 36 inches long. So
It'd be pretty wide too. And a lot of that's just tail. I mean, half of that length is just going to be that needle sharp tail.
But you're not wrong. It does take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
I don't have. I think the longest one I have might be my tie interceptor, and it's 36 inches long.
Arthur, you want to print the Marauder? Are we talking about the Imperial?
Bad Batch, right?
We're talking. Oh yeah. Right. I was
Marauders,
thinking about the Bad Batch ship. Yeah, I was thinking about the. I made that damn thing. I was thinking about. I made both of them. I was thinking about the Marauder Imperial Troop Transport variant. Isn't that what that's called? The one with the guns from Mandalorian season 2?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Arthur, if you want to do the Marauder from Bad Batch, I'd happen to know a Patreon that happens to have that file. It's only 6 feet long.
Yeah.
He'll have to get another printer.
I'll have to get a few more printers. It is a cool ship, though. Actually, when I went into making that one, I hated I did not like the Marauder's design. But then by the time I was done with it, I was like, this is actually a pretty cool ship. I really like this.
Yeah, it's Hey, Brian, thanks for watching.
Yeah, I knew
Brian says 44 inches.
Yeah, I knew it was 42, 44, somewhere in that.
Yeah.
But
it's a big one.
Yeah.
That's about 10 inches longer than the G.I. Joe Rattler jet that they just did. So
now
I
bought an X-wing.
It would be
John Walker, and it's 29 inches long, and it fits the Black Series okay, but it's it is undersized.
It's downscaled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you go the full 44 inches, it's got to be the like the centerpiece of your collection, right? I mean, it's
right.
If you're gonna put it in there,
like I could probably do an X-wing on the top of my Black Series display, right up at the top of the shelves. Yeah, it would be cool. It would be cool to do. If they did a HasLab with it, I would buy with that. I'd get an X-wing for Black Series.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
TIE Fighter,
Greg. Yeah, Greg, you mentioned you got the TIE Interceptor. Which out of the TIE fighters, like the TIE Fighter, TIE Interceptor, and Vader's TIE, which would be the best one for Black Series to do if you were going to do one?
Actually,
they've done that. Yeah,
the TIE Advance would be the best one because I actually printed. I have one that I printed, and we talked about this one of the last shows that I was on. That it was a studio scale replica, 1/24th scale. So when I bought the file, I was going to just double it, but it was too big for my printer, so I went about 190%. After I printed it all, and I thought, wow, it's kind of big, and I think it's 26 inches long, 24, 26 inches long. It was only supposed to be 19, and I failed to do my research. So a TIE Advanced, the Darth Vader's TIE, would be the perfect black HasLab. It's maybe 19 inches long, somewhere about that wide, maybe 14 inches tall.
It's very boxy. It's kind of like
it is.
Yeah, it's very contained.
And it can also sit on a shelf without a stand.
Yeah,
right. And and it looks cool. And it's Vader ship, so they would sell a lot of those if they would do it.
Yeah.
Give me that or an A-wing. I'd love an A-wing.
Oh, an A-wing would be an A-wing or this Interceptor. Mm-hmm. Those would be perfect too because, I did John's A-wing over there, and I don't know, what is it like? Was it 16, 18 inches long or something?
I think yours is a little bit smaller than mine.
There you go again, John.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
But
what about the standard type?
But you're right. Gary, it's not a big ship.
No, it'd be a great ship.
Yeah.
Gary, what about the standard TIE Fighter? Because you got the Black Series one behind you there. Like, is the panels or the wings or whatever the heck you call them? They're a little short, right?
Yeah, the standard is a little taller than that one, but it would still be
Yeah.
easy. I don't know why. I do know why Hasbro chose to go with that one, but if they'd have done the OT tie, boy, they would have sold a lot of those too.
Yeah, they would have sold more.
Yeah,
That's what turned
they
me
thought
off.
people wanted.
I didn't really like the
movies.
design.
Like the snow speeder, great example. What was it retail? 120.
Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't even think about doing a ship that size, make a 3D printed one that's that detailed for $120.
You wouldn't be able to make it with the materials.
Right. So there's a good handful or two of ships that they could easily do, and maybe not even do HasLab. Just do it for these interceptors. If you did one that was Anakin's and one that was Obi-Wan's, give some choices. Same thing with the A-wing. I know there's a couple different paint schemes for those, so it would be easy.
Yeah, Hasbro should go back to more to the retail, and just I don't know. I think they're overutilizing the HasLabs, in my opinion. But
well, I think if they do the the limited pre-order thing that they did with some of the other stuff, I think that actually works really well too.
If you look at Marvel, they just did that Dragon Man figure, and they're doing the Giant Man figure. But that Giant Man is a $200 item. It was a HasLab, but it was kind of on the fence. It's not a $400 item. And now they're doing Dragon Man for, was he like 80 or $90? He's just a bigger figure.
Yeah. 10 inches.
And then G.I. Joe is doing the Jeeps, the vehicles for $100 price points that they're all selling direct from Hasbro Pulse. They could do that. Try that with Star Wars. If they can get Lucasfilm to go on board, be on board with that.
Well, it was a little discouraging with the Rancor that people weren't. What was it? Was it 300, 350?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe if they had they actually
400?
finished the product and gave us a finished look at the instead of the, I think they jumped the gun.
Well,
the tiers weren't phenomenal, but
they did the same. They did the same thing. I think even with the cantinas, they if they just extended. I don't even think I think the problem with the Rancor is they had too many HasLabs going on. I think it was bad timing. I mean, I did support it. I only supported one, but I don't know. The same thing with the Cantina when they did that. They only had 30 days, and just rushed it. They just I don't know.
I think the Rancor had longer than 30 days though.
No, the Rancor had 55, 58 days, I think. But there was three other HasLabs. There were three other HasLabs that were going on, and I think it just,
Yeah, if they didn't overlap, and it probably would have went. So,
and it'd have been different if we'd have had other choices to get a fully articulated Rancor, but that was our only choice, and it was kind of a one-time shot because now John's making one. We can print it, but it's pricey. It's a lot pricier than what has
$900 pricey.
Yeah.
And
I
then
wonder if I could take it to 5K Toys and have them manufacture it.
That's an idea, John.
Oh, that'd be a quick way to get
sued.
a letter. Oh, I would get
probably
sued
get
out
sued.
of existence. It would make the damage from the hurricane look trivial.
The other thing with the timing of the Rancor was, I think the other thing was with the TV show, The Book of Boba Fett. It didn't show on, a couple weeks later or whatever. You know what I mean? There was just, I don't know. I mean, but it was pretty close. It had enough. I think they should. The other thing is, I don't know. Maybe they should just cut back on all that articulation. The Rancor didn't do that much. And if you're going to gear it to Return of the Jedi, they could have cut back on that. That probably would have cut back on the cost of it. I think it would have sold eventually.
TVC just came out with that Blurg, and it looks like that's selling like hotcakes, and everybody loves that thing. Yeah. They could have done that. I've been 3D printing a version of that doesn't. It looks a little different than the show, and it's doesn't articulate much, but it looks good. It displays well, but they could have been making those this whole time, and probably selling quite a bit of them.
I will advocate always for articulation.
Yes.
Because articulation is better than no articulation done well.
Yep.
I mean, like, just Jesus Christ, look at this damn raptor. Like, how much fun is this thing? Just turning its head all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when they had the HasLab going, I was thinking of ways that I could dress up my potential new baby in my son's, clothing he's outgrown, and like putting him in like a backpack carrier, like walking around with a brain core on my back or something, and just having like dumb, like putting it like in my office at school, having like having it peeking out from the window or something. I don't know, just fun things that like you could do with that much articulation. It would have been fun as hell. Yes, this is the Raptor from 5K. Okay.
When you put it like that, you're right. Maybe that was part of the marketing too, where they,
Yeah.
That sells me more on it. But when they did it on the Rancor, they just there was no paint apps in the beginning, and the tiers were just, I thought asinine.
Yeah, if they had shown that second paint update, that would have been really cool, because that was actually a really nice paint. But
or had Ula been at least one of the tiers.
Give me that Ula.
We needed Ula.
Hey guys, the Rancor has been deleted from Hasbro's website.
No, they're probably because they won't stop talking.
It's not
about
on
it.
there. Yeah, they do. They took it off.
Probably because of me. They probably saw me and they're like, "Well, we can't compete with him, so we're not even going to try." What are we going to do?
They had all the HasLabs on there
just
before.
Fired you.
To be fair, I didn't make it till afterwards. So,
yeah, well, whatever. They should have just hired you to do it.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, just clearly, like, no, I was.
Well, the other thing was the design, the sculpt. We talked about this last time, John. Your neck joint was different. Like I hated that like turtleneck looking look of the Hasbro one.
Right, and that was entirely because of that was entirely because of what they came up with, and that was
an engineering decision. How to articulate it, but there was other stuff wrong when the Rancor came out, and there was a whole there was just bad vibes in the whole with Hasbro at the time. With their whole marketing team, that was with Patrick, and everybody was just pissed at Hasbro. So when they botched the Rancor, the Black Series community was just, there was a lot of mistakes and stuff that had happened, and people were impatient. And then when the Rancor came out,
following it up
overpriced.
And a follow up with Grievous lightsaber, that was a terrible decision.
And that was bad too. Yeah,
they took off everything that hasn't. Actually, where
Unicron's not here anyway.
Yeah,
Unicron
they took stuff off that hasn't shipped in the past year or two. It's not.
Well, they're erasing the history.
Because they took out
they used
Katana, the Cookie Monster, Sentinel, Galactus.
That's too bad. They used to have everything there with all the stats of like you could still look at what the rank, how much the Rancor, how close it came to funding. That used to be all
it looks like they just updated they updated this page recently. I'd love for them.
The whole website got a refresh.
Yeah. I'd love some sort of update on my Ghost. I want to know what the hell my Ghost is.
Yeah.
So has anybody heard is there any truth to this, the Sith speeder and the Stab speeder kind of helping to gauge the market for ships going forward? Is, like I said, I heard that through the Out of the Basement guys, and but I haven't heard anything else.
I would imagine, if they get good sales for it, why they would have to take that as like a positive. So, yeah, I would imagine so. It'd be better than not. I mean, I actually really like it, and I'm so happy that Hasbro was kind enough to send me 2 of them. Very kind.
You got 2.
Hasbro. Remember, my lightsaber broke, and they sent me a brand new one to replace it because of the broken lightsaber.
Nice.
I love you, Hasbro.
There you go. That's the title of the stream.
I love you, Hasbro. Give me a job, please. Don't sue me.
I think there's potential in Star Wars for them to do some of these lower price point, but like $200 price point items, like they've done the play sets for Jabba's throne room. That was $220. But if GI Joe is selling $100 Jeeps, or whatever, maybe there's some room there for them to try to explore that with Star Wars.
I think so. I mean, like if you can do like a $60 staff speeder or $50 staff speeder and a $60 Maul, yeah, 100% they could do like something, something to kind of get more vehicles out there. And yes, I agree. Give me the mini rigs. Yeah. I love the mini rigs. As stupid as they were, I thought they were funny as hell. They were awesome.
Yeah.
It would work for Black Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the refresh that they did for the mini rigs, but it was for Power of the Force 2?
I only have one of those. But, yeah.
So I never had a snow speeder growing up, but I had the snow speeder mini rig that had like the little wings that popped out. Oh, yeah. I love that thing to death. I thought that was the coolest little ship ever.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I need to model.
Yeah, the Cap 2 is what I had. I had that one too.
They're fun. They're just fun ideas. I love the mini rigs. I love the one I made with the it's back here somewhere. The little skiff speeder one that looks like a Boba Fett. And the one, I mean, you've held it, David. You've seen it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got mine behind me.
It's such a silly ship. Like it's so dumb. So you have someone that's just sitting in this little tiny pod, and then you put someone on the plank in front of them.
Yeah, I got Leia.
So like they're supposed to shoot us on either side of the person that's on the plank in front of them. It's such a silly...
it's crazy. Yeah,
I love it though.
See, I've never seen those.
You really? You've never seen them?
No.
Did you know about them?
Apparently not.
Oh my God!
Kenner days. Back in the 80s.
Can we do?
Yeah, I remember seeing them, and I was like, "Oh, that must be for the kids part of the line."
Well, I got away from collecting for a while and just got back serious maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Here's the Cap 2 mini rig.
Yeah. So this was kind of like a trouble bubble, but for the Empire, I think.
It was Bosk was inside with the, and then they had this cool claw thing. Look at this. You could grab a guy, capture him. Suction cups. You could stick them to the glass. You could stick them to a window, and then these 2 claw arms. And then this cool little articulated gun on the front. Fun little piece.
I think a lot of those.
Go ahead.
A lot of those mini rigs were sort of. Some of those designs actually got into the TV show Droids, apparently.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember I don't remember the Droids episodes. I haven't watched them yet on Disney, but that is that same period of time when they were doing those.
So I mean, these were all pretty cheap. They were about $4 or $5 each, and so they were made specifically for parents who wanted to save a little bit of money. But I think each one of them was, at least my intuition is that they were kind of sort of based off of another larger design of some sort. Like they kind of at least to me, they kind of look like it's something that sort of looks like another vehicle. So like the INT-4 kind of sort of looks like the head of like an APSD.
Right.
Some of these, look like tanks, or the one you just had, David, kind of sort of looks like a AT-AT Walker or a probe droid.
Here's another one.
Yeah. That one's the MLC-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just brought up one website. Fantha Tracks has a bunch of them up here.
And those were made specifically for the TVC figures?
Yeah.
No, this is 1980s Kenner.
Yeah, this would have been the 80s.
I kind of grouped the whole 1/18th scale down into TVC. I know that's probably not correct, but
it's sacrilege, man. There you get.
They would be vintage.
I don't want you getting
vintage.
It's when 3 3/4 was in there, slightly post ROTJ phase, before they kind of fizzled out, from what I remember.
I did have a Power of the Force Luke for my X-Wing. He looked like the bodybuilder Luke.
I want to show you this.
Yeah,
one.
those are
Oh, yeah,
95.
That was terrible.
Those are
I-
funny.
Power of the Force.
I got one to replace that.
So these are all like based off of different things. I always thought the one that looked like a shuttle was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just a shuttle. It's just a cheap shuttle.
Yeah.
It's like, if
The
you
mini
if
Imperial
parents
shuttle.
don't have the money for a real shuttle, this is what you get. Like, sorry, Timmy. This one never made any sense to me. It was just like a weird bike. I don't know. David, did you have this one? Yeah, you got the shuttle. Okay, hang on. All right,
I got it right here.
Oh, there you go.
Show
Hang on,
me
let me-
this.
let me
Talk to
get
me
big.
about this one. Because it looks
So
like
this
a
is the-
Battlestar like fighter craft.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a single. They're all single figure. So
Yeah.
it opens. A stormtrooper in there.
Beautiful.
But yeah, it's meant to look like a shuttle, and the wings, activate up.
It's like a McDonald's Happy Meal version of a shuttlecraft.
It's
Now, how
Yeah, it's
long have
pretty
you
cool.
had that?
That is
Oh,
cool.
I've only had this about a year because I've been seeking these. I've been building my collection, so I got this online somewhere. But I had. Where's the other one? This is mine since I was 6 years old or whatever, from 1983 or whatever that was, Empire Strikes Back time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, you can pick these little ones. These are only like $30 to $40 for most of these. They're not that expensive. So.
Nick, you were right about these being put into the droid show. Because here's
John?
You see it right there?
Yeah. John, not
So-
to toot my own horn, but I'm never wrong.
I know you're never wrong. I don't know why I would even say. I don't even know why I'd even think about
You're too humble to be wrong.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
60% of the time, 100% of the time. That doesn't make sense.
So I tell my
Yeah,
wife,
I don't
and then
have
I have
all
to
the-
sleep, then I get slapped. So
I think I'm missing one of the mini. I'm not sure. Maybe I do have all the mini rigs now. I
some,
bought them recently. So
some of these look like they even got to be like mini rigs, because like some of these are literally just like jetpacks, and one of these looks like
little skiff
tiny
things.
Yeah, they when they launched Power of the Force 2 in 95, they started doing them again.
Mhm.
And they started expanding. That's where you'll see like one man like jetpacks and everything.
Yeah, the Boba Fett.
Yeah.
that they had out. Yeah, I still have that one. I don't have the backpack, but I have the Boba Fett still. Yeah. And then there's the Power Force 2. I don't remember what they're called, but they're not mini rigs. They're like, what was that snow speeder thing? What was that?
I don't remember the snow speeder one you're talking about. I'm trying to.
Expanded universe vehicles. It's the one that has like the little the little wings that pop out. They had a cloud car that had little wings that popped out of it. It was just like a single cloud car.
Huh? No, I don't know those.
Maybe it was like
Anybody in the chat?
Concept. I think it was Concept. Force 2 Concept.
Yeah, there's a
vehicle.
bunch of them that
Yeah.
weren't made. Like, when they
Yeah.
canceled the whole line. Yeah, the Endor Forest Ranger's another one. Dave, you got that one, right?
Right up here, right up with my Ewoks. Yeah, I did a video on this one. I love this thing. Now this one's more
Yeah.
expensive. This one's like $100 item, but pretty cool.
I remember seeing
What is
them,
it?
and then I just thought,
What?
it's like, that's not official
Crazy
Star Wars
mechanism.
canon. I'm not buying
You
that.
got your Endor trooper in there.
What a
That is
mistake.
Pretty
weird.
cool.
Is that a fighter?
No, it's like a
forest. It's supposed to go on the ground like a little
How does
tank.
it go on the
It's an armored
ground?
tank. I don't know. It looks like a big wheel, but the wheel doesn't spin. The wings spin. So.
Yeah, that's what makes me think it like flies.
yeah, it flies,
Now,
but
I
I think
know-
it turns its blasters, I guess, when it's going through the trees, and so it kind of.
It's imagination, John. Now listen,
Yeah.
I've seen a 3D printed one of these. I've seen a 1/6 scale one of these. So somebody did the file and printed it.
Somebody did it.
It was who's got it? The guy down in Darkside Pizza there. What's his name? Nick.
Michael.
Star Killer. Yeah.
Yeah, Star Killer.
In his collection, he has one of these in 1/6 scale. I think for his jumbo collection.
1/6 scale. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's doing some of the mini rigs in 1/6.
Well, then I guess I need to start doing more of them. So here's one that I always saw was the Cloud Car. I thought this one was actually kind of cool looking.
Oh, hang on. Let me add you to the screen here.
There we are.
There you go. Show it again. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, and I've thought about this, like trying to do, because I've had the Patreon members like ask for cloud cars, but I don't like the idea of 2 cloud cards being together. I thought that was kind of weird, but like, what if like they could disconnect, and then this is what they turn into? That'd be kind of a cool concept. I don't know. It just kind of comes off a little bit sleeker to me. I think that's all just box close-ups. But anyway, it's kind of an interesting concept, I think.
Yeah, that's one thing
John,
I don't
did
know.
You have those?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
So that's something you can throw together pretty quick, John, is the Cloud City pod car.
Yeah, I don't think a cloud car would be that hard to make. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it would be that crazy.
I'm going to try to show this picture Dan sent me. Hang on. This is share screen window.
I found the snow speeder.
All right, so this is Dan. You okay? Customs. So this backpack thing that Boba Fett's wearing is one of those
cool.
Like mini rigs, right? Yeah. Yeah, and that's with the Black Series figure, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. I like that.
That's the original figure there. So yeah, they're really super
really nice.
Yeah. So
yeah,
fits real nice on a Black Series.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it does actually. That's kind of. I figured you like upscaled it or something.
Yeah. No, so he took it off the. This is the original figure. He took it off of that, put it on a Black Series Boba Fett.
Something I never understood about this one was that I know the wings fold backwards and they like snap forward to the sides. I've always in my head as a kid, I always thought that the wings would like close forward like shields, but they didn't do that. I always thought that was like a missed opportunity.
Interesting.
Do you want to see the snow speeder one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did you find it?
Yeah, I found it. Took me a minute.
Where's I don't see your screen here.
I'm getting there.
There we go.
So it looks pretty much like a snow speeder, but it's just smaller. And let's see if they have. So yeah, so the wings would just pop out on the sides, just like this. And that was the feature. So like they all had this little action feature built into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like these were like concepts that they were kind of going off of. I guess I don't know why they said expanded universe, but that was a concept that they came up with for this.
Well, I think a lot of all these ones that you're seeing in Power of the Force 2 in '95, a lot of these would have been in the line back in '85, the original Power of the Force, but obviously they terminated production and everything for Star Wars merch at Kenner, and then once they restarted the line, then they dusted off all their old blueprints and whatever, and then they started continuing with this stuff. And I think some of it kind of crosses into expanded universe too. So with the written material, I'm not sure, but
I didn't realize this was $14.99 when it released. That seems going from $5 to $14.99. That's a big jump in 10 years or 12 years.
Yeah, inflation.
Yeah. That's even in the late 90s. That seems like that's kind of expensive.
Minimum
Trying to
wage was
figure out my
what,
mechanism here.
$8-9 around 95, 96, something like that. I don't know.
Minimum wage was definitely not $8 or $9 back then. That would have been,
It's probably $6.75.
if even that. My first job in 2002 was at Burger King, and I think I was making like $5.50.
Well, that's American. Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're doing the conversion for
Yeah.
Canadian, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking Canadian. I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth. I remember I think my first job was like $6.45 or $6.85 an hour.
Yeah.
So I think that was around 96,
Man.
95. So
Yeah, my first job was in the mid
Basically,
90s, early 90s. I think I was $4 something an hour. Crazy.
Gary, do you remember yours? Your first hourly job?
Maybe $3.35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the mid 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad always
Crazy.
told me about like selling or delivering papers for like a nickel each or something back in like the 60s or the 50s. Yeah. He'd go around on his bike.
1996 minimum wage $4.75. Yeah. So that's what I was making. 96. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, $4.75 went a lot farther back then.
Oh, I was buying like compact discs. That's what I was buying. CDs were the new thing, and I was buying all that grunge music. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh man. I think I was just buying like Disney albums and Star Wars CDs. I didn't listen to good music until I got to college.
Yeah. Those awkward years. High school years.
I know. I had terrible taste in music early on. Oh my gosh.
My 24-year-old was just over, and she was wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt, and she really didn't know many Led Zeppelin songs, so I started playing some for her. And her and my 20-year-old were like, "I need to start listening to Led Zeppelin." I was like,
yeah.
They just had the shirt because it was trendy, or what?
Yeah, well, my 24-year-old she's a starving artist, so she's kind of eclectic, and so, but I mean, they knew a couple Led Zeppelin songs, but I think I played Robert Plant's "Big Log" from the '80s, and they were like, "Oh, gonna have to start listening to that."
It is kind of funny though, like seeing some of the kids that age wearing stuff they have no idea really like what it's about or like what the band is.
I see a ton of Nirvana shirts everywhere. I'm like, you guys don't listen to Nirvana, like.
Or when there's
listen to us.
A remake, and they're listening to a remake, and I'll start singing along. You know that song? I said, yeah, that came out in 1984.
Yeah.
I was trying to tell my students about Pogs, and apparently Pogs has a very different meaning now. Do you remember Pogs back in the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah. And apparently it has like a very different meaning nowadays because like some streamer or something. But it was all of my students were like, "What are you talking about? Why are you saying that here? You can't say that word." I'm like, "Pogs?" I'm thinking like, "Oh God, am I turning into like the old man who says like colorful language and he doesn't even realize it?" So.
The last 10 minutes of this live stream have been old guys bitching about the young generation.
Oh my God. Okay, fine. Let's talk about Star Wars. Let's go back to Star Wars, please. Please.
Sorry, audience.
Sorry.
We're digressing a little. It's getting late.
I'm sorry.
It is. We're old. We need to get to bed.
No, it's Saturday night. I could stay up late. I could do it. I know I can.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk with you guys tonight because all the cool reveals and stuff. I just thought it was pretty neat, So I just wanted to talk about collecting. That's why I got everybody together. So,
you guys want to talk about any pickups?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
We didn't do
I can go
pickups
if you guys want.
Do it.
I think the last thing I got was Darth Maul, and
so good.
Ooh, wait, Nick, let me make you bigger here. Hang on.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh,
my favorite six-breasted dancer.
Yeah. Sorry, it's kind of coming really grainy.
The
Anyways,
little
she's gonna come out of-
shadowy. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, she's going to come out of the package soon. So I'm
Cool.
going to do that jab up. And
We
then,
need
hold
her
on,
in
I got
that
another.
Black Series.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
we do.
Then I got this one, which is an incredible figure.
Ooh,
We need that in Black Series.
Are you taking them out of the
that's
package?
amazing.
Oh, yeah, this one will come
Yeah.
out for sure.
I really do want some photos of him though when you get them out, so I can like maybe start a file on him.
I picked up another Stormtrooper, John Graber. I took it out of package.
Oh, there you go, John. If you're still watching.
Oh, these are incredible.
That's the new one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like, that's just the Black
They-
Series one too is just perfect.
But they still
then I
didn't
did pick-
update those damn hips.
Yeah, you were messaging me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, whatever. I mean, it's
It
3
still
and 3/4.
moves.
It can't
It's
be-
fine.
Yeah, and I picked up Krennic there. So
That's a brand new release, right?
yeah,
that been
it's,
out for a while?
I don't know here. So I'm gonna take him out of. Hold on, here I got him. Cards, kind of beautiful card image there.
Yep. John's still watching.
Yeah.
Welcome to the light
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, so
Yeah, cool.
yeah, John's actually going to start his carded collection when he gets down at the ICC or whatever. You know, the one that Mr. Haven's putting
Greatest
on.
convention. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he's going to start his carded collection finally. So congratulations, or pre-congratulations.
I got my
Mr.
badge
Graber.
right here, ready to go.
That's a cool.
I'm
looking
excited.
badge.
Yeah, they did Spider-Punk for the press badge. Pretty cool.
Man, can I?
I'm going to do my best to drive up one day, John.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what
There you
day
go.
do you think?
I don't know.
What day is better for you?
I don't know. It's a 4-day event, right?
Yeah, I'm not there Sunday, so like Friday, Saturday are the best days.
It'll
wanna try to
probably
meet
be Friday
up.
or Saturday.
Cool. Yeah. Well, just message me and it'd be great to hang out.
Yeah.
There's going to be a ton of cool stuff to see there, I think. So.
And did you say it was like Star Wars specific?
Oh yeah, it's
think
because the guy running it is a big Star Wars fan. Like last year they had Marvel stuff there too. They had Marvel actors from Daredevil, but this year it's almost all actors from Star Wars, mostly original trilogy actors. It's really cool. So as far as the celebrities and stuff, and then the sales floor, where you can buy and sell, it's going to be heavy Star Wars, but there'll be other pop culture stuff there too. But it's got a heavy presence of Star Wars to it for the people who run it and who attend it and who sell at it.
Okay.
So I think that makes it kind of special.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are the actors? Billy D. Williams, Warwick Davis. Which ones are going to be there?
Yeah, those are the headliners. Lando, Warwick. You've got a bunch. You got Biggs. You've got Wedge. You've got Gold Leader, Admiral Akbar, Greedo, the Sand Trooper who says like move along. That all these guys that are in the original films that are probably in their, I don't know how old they are now, in their 70s probably now.
80s.
And a bunch of them are flying over from England. They don't come over to the States very often, so it's gonna be pretty cool to. I'm expecting they'll do a panel. Like they'll do an interview panel with all those guys on stage together. There'll be something like that that'll be pretty neat to see. So they haven't said what day that is yet, but when they do, that'd be the one to try to come for.
Timothy Zahn's
Smart to
gonna
get
be
all their
big.
signatures if you can.
Yeah,
afford
if
it.
you're going after autographs, you can do that. Yeah, Timothy Zahn's going to be there as far as Thrawn and
Dennis
a bunch of the toy
Lawson,
makers.
I think you already said Dennis Lawson, but
yeah.
yeah.
Gary, some of the guys who made the original Kenner toys,
Mhm.
and some of the toy designers, the photographers, those guys will be there too. So
Your Gamorrean guard guy is going to be there.
Yeah,
Yep, the guy I met up
And
here
he's
locally,
always
he'll be
there.
there. He play.
apparently he's always
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, they got a lot of good lot of good people up here. Like that looks good.
And
Looks like
he
they
said
actually filled
doesn't
this
do the
out
same
recently in the
people.
past month.
Yeah, they don't. They have like 40 something guests coming, and they don't do the same people every year. They rotate through every 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy, the Good Morning Guard, is the exception because he's, I guess, such a great friendly guy that he gets invited every year.
They got Amy Allen coming as well.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
Kira,
I didn't realize Amy Allen wasn't even an actress. She was like a production assistant or something.
oh, is that how she got this?
Yeah, she wasn't even an actress. She was working on the film as like a PA, and they're like, okay, we need another Jedi, and so if you're ever wondering why the Jedi in the arena look so poorly trained, it's because they got everyone they possibly could to be a Jedi for that sequence.
So they didn't have their 6 weeks of choreography training beforehand. No. Yeah.
It's like, okay, dude, the one with the dinosaur head, just do this.
Yeah. But yeah, Gary, how long of a drive is it to Nashville for you? You said
maybe 3 hours.
That's doable. You should definitely.
No, I can do that.
Yeah.
I drove to Mobile the other day.
But...
I went down and back in the same day, and that's probably 3.5 hours.
How much are hotels running?
Well, I had to get my hotel is like $210 a night. I thought that was kind of pricey, but that's the hotel where the convention is, and so I don't know. I went for it because I wanted to be right there.
Sure.
So
yeah.
But I don't know what the other surrounding areas are.
It is sold out.
Oh yeah, it's been sold out since like January.
Yeah, I really need to start doing cons again. I haven't done cons since my son was born.
But yeah, Gary, if you come up, then we can walk the trade show. Look at all the vendors and stuff, and hopefully catch some of the cool panels. I think that's really what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
Well, I haven't broke it to my wife, but
honey, I'm sorry. You could say, "Hey, honey, guess what? I want to give you a gift of no me for an entire Saturday. You don't have to deal with this. All of this is gone."
Well, it's 4 days, isn't it? The convention's right, 4 days.
Even better. You could be gone
yeah.
for 4 days, Gary.
Look, I take my wife a cup of coffee every morning. If I'm not there to bring that cup of coffee, we got a problem.
That's a problem. Yeah.
You got a hot plate. Pre-make 4 cups of coffee.
It's just occurring. It's easy, but she's very supportive of my hobby and my love of Star Wars. So,
well, my wife too. I mean, this is a hard thing for me to travel. It's a tough weekend for us. The kids have band concerts. There's medical stuff going on, and so my wife is being great, honestly, in letting
my
me go.
youngest is 13, so I don't.
Yeah.
She can take care of herself. So we don't have small children anymore.
But anyway, wives are great. So
drive it where
it's supposed to be a really down to earth show. Like all the people that go there, it's all collectors. Like the way that just watch the videos of Haven coming on and explaining it. Like it's such a better atmosphere than all the other conventions. I wish I could go. There's like a 5% chance I can get down there, but
I wanted to go last year. Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah. That was me last year. I was like, I wanted to go last year and I just couldn't. And so this year when it came up, I made it a priority and I planned 10 months ahead, It's like, I'm going to do this.
I remember us talking about it 10 months ago.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to commit that far out, but
I could need it for sure.
To drive up. So,
yeah. So cool. Well, hopefully I'll see you there.
Yeah.
And anybody else is watching, come say hi at ICCCon in Nashville, October 3rd through 6th.
I know Mr. Graber's going to be there.
Yeah.
In the chat.
Yeah.
Nick, did you get through all of your pickups?
Pickups. I got a sidetrack there. Nick, did you have something else, or is that's good?
I think I had a few other things. Oh, I picked up a Rocky figure from McFarlane. But
is that a new Rocky figure?
Yeah, it's like they got this here. Actually, hold on, it's right here. 1 second.
What do you think of that guy?
I love him so
Let me
much.
make your screen big here.
He's so
Show that again.
This new Maul.
Oh, the Maul. Yeah, he's good.
I mean, they did a good job.
I love him so much. I got him twice.
Well, the articulation, how he moves, just how he looks. And I got 3 of the first one, but this one.
Yeah. He can actually sit on his damn speeder.
Soft.
Hang on, let's see Nick's Rocky guy here.
So that's one of the statue movie maniacs.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it weird?
What does it say, 6,400?
He's calling it movie maniacs, but they're not horror movies anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it looks good.
They're just kind of.
Wait, are we doing non-Star Wars stuff at this time?
I mean, I got a whole table of
yeah.
non-Star Wars stuff right here.
Because I got something
Here
really
comes
cool
Godzilla.
over here.
All right, bring it on.
Yeah, show us the Godzilla, please, sir.
Oh, Dan, you got the unlicensed Maul. Yeah, I saw that. That looked really good, though. I bet that's a good figure. All right, let's see what Gary's got here. Hang on. Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
Gary, did you see the one they're doing that's just like all gold? It's like shiny gold.
I've got him ordered. But I got this one aftermarket.
Are you guys familiar
Gary,
with this one?
No, you guys need to inform me because I know nothing about Godzilla.
Is that from the 1960s?
No, this is from the new one, but it's by Haya Toys. They're like the new, Bandai makes a lot of Godzilla figures, and they were kind of the walking dog of the Godzilla figures. But Haya just came along, and this thing is the wings separate, and so they'll fold down. But he's cool.
It is.
What is the name of that character?
Oh, this is Ghidorah. David, you're not. You haven't watched any Monster.
I know nothing.
King Ghidorah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
He is probably the most powerful kaiju they've had in that film series, I think.
I mean, I've watched some of the Godzilla movies, but I am not up with the lore, or never really dug into it at all. So, looks cool though.
Well, I was watching Godzilla before Star Wars, and I was 10 years old when Star Wars came out. So,
yeah,
that's a cool Ghidorah design. That I like Ghidorah the old version one, but this one actually looks like a real dragon.
Yeah,
really neat. Yeah.
I think the last Godzilla movie I watched was in the 90s, but before that it was all the Japanese ones from the 60s, 70s.
Talking about the Godzilla in New York City one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Zilla, the Matthew Broderick version.
Yeah. I don't think that went over well.
That was kind of a dud, right? Yeah.
It was a good movie, but it wasn't Godzilla.
No. I liked it as a kid, though. I thought it was awesome, especially a kid who loves dinosaurs and loves Jurassic Park. Lost World came out that year, the year before. I was really
Godzilla -1 was very good.
Yeah.
It would, and it actually, the human story was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
David, you should watch -1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have, but I didn't finish it. I found myself enjoying the action parts, and then I started fast forward on Netflix, and I never finished. I was because it was 3 hours long, right? It's a long movie.
Not that long.
I did enjoy the parts I watched, but I didn't finish it. I got to get back to it.
It's a good one. That one and Shin Godzilla are really good. I like Shin Godzilla is silly, but I mean, my wife and I were sitting there laughing our asses off in the theater with the first couple versions of Godzilla that comes out, because he's ridiculous, but then he gets really scary, and Yeah, he's really good though.
Actually, speaking about Japanese movies and themes that have come over from there, do you think they'd ever make like an Akira movie or something like that? I don't know if you guys are into any of that manga
Maybe
stuff or no.
I would be really worried about like them doing that because they look at like the history of them making anime into live action. Hasn't worked out very well. Like what was it? The Attack on Titan movie was not very good. Um, Actually, I don't know of a lot of films that were anime that ended up being really good.
Yeah, not my.
Well, they've been able
I
to
don't watch
they've been able
much
to
of
cross
either.
that bridge with like Marvel and DC movies over the decades. So
Yeah, that's
maybe
true.
at some
I mean,
point,
I wouldn't say don't try. Like I would be interested in seeing it. Um, Akira gets really graphic towards the end though, so I think that would be really interesting to see if they could actually do that and not PG it.
yeah, no, it would have to be rated R.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
What about that? My watching is very limited on anime, but the Battle Angel Alita movie that came out a couple years ago, that was,
That's
I
good.
assume,
Yeah, that's actually
and
getting
I
a
thought it was
sequel
pretty
finally.
good. Is it?
Actually, you know
I
the
just
one
thought that one was
they
pretty
can
good.
do? They should do a Robotech, Macross. They should be able to do that. I mean, they've basically done that in Transformers. So
I think they definitely
A
could.
Darth Vader movie?
Huh?
A Darth Vader movie?
Or you just wanting to see a Darth Vader movie?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of the comics have good storylines.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a couple fan based movies.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of content they could do there.
Yeah, I think they could. I think it'd be a little dark, so they probably would have to add Dr. Aphra just to like even it out a little bit, because otherwise you just have like this angry man in a mask for 2 hours. It just kills anybody.
Just murdering the galaxy.
Yeah. I mean, you can only get away with apology accepted so many times, right? I mean, just chokes
it could be
an
8-episode miniseries where he kills a Jedi every episode, and that's the whole show. That'd be cool.
But I think you really need to have someone by his side who's like just gradually losing their sanity every single time they see him kill someone. And so, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, have Aphra next to him, just behind him, go, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
I don't really know too much about the whole Dr. Aphra thing. The only thing I know about it is one channel that I follow, Action Figure Grader. I love him, but he's always mentioning Dr. Aphra, Dr. Aphra's action figure. I don't know anything about it. But everyone seems to be head over heels over Dr. Aphra. I hear it all the time.
She's kind of like a female Han Solo type character, but mix her with like Leia a little bit. And she has a bad, evil version of R2D2 and C3PO. That's basically it. Like she's
and Indiana Jones. She's an artifact hunter.
Yes.
She's a treasure hunter.
Yes.
I think, wasn't she hired to find Luke?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that would be a good story.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made me think when somebody said something about a rated R movie, I thought, if they did a Darth Vader movie and they did it right, it would probably have to be rated R.
I think you're 100%, Gary, because if you watch Andor, it's that was more of an adult content show, which I always wanted them to kind of go back more to that, kind of closer to Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
The first two movies, because they had more of even though it was PG'd, it was, you could see a lot of the adult undertones, more.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, no, they could do it. It'd be fun.
Then we can get new Darth Vader figures.
Yeah, well, Hasbro
button's here, and this other button's red.
Yeah.
The cloak is over the armor now.
I was thinking it reminded me of a Predator movie. Predator's just there kicking butt and everybody's trying to stop him. What if they had a miniseries of Vader like that where he just keeps killing and killing and killing?
Well,
That'd be awesome.
it would be good to show like the Empire actually efficiently dominating.
Isn't that what the Vader
universe.
series is about?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
comic?
100%. But as a background where they don't try to take away from Vader, like kind of like what some of the shows have kind of done. They've kind of made him, kind of lose
Ruthless,
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He should be ruthless.
Ruthless, but he was supposed to be, I would argue more intelligent in the first few films. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't all about using, force chokes and everything, right? But
yeah, and then the story of how the Emperor treated him. He took his lightsaber away from him, made him go find another one, and then make the crystal bleed. That'd be
Yeah, there's a lot there, Gary.
There
You
is.
can do it. Yeah.
And like I said, there's a couple of fan-based movies. They did. You see the one where he, I think in his mind, he was killing the Emperor. That was
one. Saw that one.
A lot.
And then they recreated the scene with him and Obi-Wan in episode 4. Their final battle.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
I
did see that. That was cool.
Very good.
Is that the one where they're like fighting like more ferociously?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was better than Disney.
Well, to be fair, it would be kind of weird if like that just came out of nowhere in the original film. But yeah, it is a cool thing.
All right, can I show some pickups?
Yes.
No.
Sorry, no.
Look at this.
Ooh.
That's cool. Is that a Power of the Force one?
It's from 2008, I guess.
Oh,
yeah.
It's not that old, but yeah.
Oh, so TV.
Would
that be TVC? Or maybe Jedi?
No, I think Legacy
Jedi?
Collection.
I think it was Legacy or
Legacy.
Saga, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, Legacy.
But my local friend Eric, that I went to his house last weekend, he gave that to me from his collection.
That's cool.
Because he's into Mythic Legions now, and he's kind of downsizing his Star Wars stuff. So he gave me that, and he gave me that X-wing I showed with the swamp stuff all over it, including the little swamp monster from Dagobah. So I got this little Luke and monster. So
that's cool.
This is called the Dragon Snake.
Okay.
The Dragon Snake? I never heard of that before. I had to look it up, but yeah, they better look at him. Look at the face. Kind of cool.
That's weird.
Oh wow.
It looks like a Skeksis.
Yeah, and then the tail articulates.
That's cool.
Oh.
It's a little Nessie.
Just a figure I'd never seen. Kind of cool.
Yeah, and then they probably got that entirely off of like that one back that comes up out of the water.
Going through the water. They made a creature out of it.
Yeah, I love that so much.
I got one of these at a yard sale for $5.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
that's a good score.
I always thought those were neat looking things.
$5 with the mail away box. It's brand new. It hasn't even been put together yet. It's got the.
Is it just painted plastic, or is there actually water in there?
No, it's just painted blue. It's a clear. Yeah.
Okay.
Painted blue.
Is that the 2004 one or 2002 or?
Dan will tell us because he's in the chat there. I can't remember what the date was on this one. What does it say? 1997. 97.
Oh.
So it's a little older.
I remember seeing those in Toy Fair magazines, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool."
And then I did get this from Hasbro Pulse. I haven't even opened it yet. Get it out. You guys know what this is?
Oh yeah, that's the snaky Cobra from the movie.
It's Cobra Commander when he turns into the snake from the cartoon movie.
Okay.
That was such a weird sequence, though.
It is a weird sequence, but I love it.
Such a
It's
weird sequence.
so this was one of the Pulse exclusives that went up when I was able to grab that, and so got that, and I think that's all I got to show for right now. But got a few things in. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. I do like the
Yeah.
snake creature. I wish that thing was more articulated, because then that would be like, well, maybe that would be kind of fun. But I think all it does is just kind of sits, right?
Yeah, it's not articulated. It's just a statue.
That's cool.
Dan, you did a scratch build Bomar Monk. I'd like to see that. That would be pretty cool. This is something they must have 3D models of this one, right?
Yeah,
John,
100%.
somebody's done this.
Yeah. I'm sure I've seen them around.
Yeah.
Those are fun little things that it probably wouldn't be that hard to. Well, I could see the little needly bits would be a little bit difficult to print, but
yeah.
I got some stuff.
All right, John, your turn.
I've got too much stuff. I had a hard week, hard month. Yeah, so I made bad.
I bet
choices.
you got I'm gonna guess that you got some.
So
okay.
So this was one actually. Hasbro Pulse had this on sale with the Displacer Beast, the Panther with the two tentacles that come out the back. So we made this decision. I like him. He's actually really heavy. He weighs about as much as a baseball, or like a couple of baseballs. I love the fact that I can like turn his little eyeball side to side.
I didn't know it did that.
I did not know that either.
That is cool.
That's cool.
And it's like for like $17. Like this thing is, it comes with like a little pile of gold. He has a little goldfish, and he's great. Like I said, I don't know anything about him. His name is Xanathar. I know nothing about him, but I love him, and he's my new best friend. So he's awesome.
He's supposed to be one of the main villains from D&D. I mean, I don't know much about D&D, but I know he's one of the big bad guys.
I don't. Yeah, he probably is.
Yeah.
So David, as soon as you posted, you got yours in. I went and got him.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Yeah, so he came in, and he's really cool. I really, really enjoy him. I do think, though, he looks like a Boy Scout leader with that little hood back here. So
little sash.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to give him like a little like troop or something to like. I mean, come on, it looks like he's going to give someone a badge or something. But no, this is like one of my favorite Power of the Force 2 figures, just because he's so different from everyone else. So,
isn't the head sculpt different than Doc Ondar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Doc Ondar has more scaling up on the top, I think, and he actually has like whiskers and hair, whereas Momoth does not. So yeah, there's actually a lot of different stuff on this one that I didn't realize they were going to have. So it's pretty cool. Same hands though, and the hands are not super great for holding a weapon. There's not a lot you can really do with them, except for like gesture awesomely.
Doc Onder's awkward too because he comes with that sword and like that clone helmet and the what is it, the holocron?
Yeah,
they're
it's just
little.
random
You kind of have to
stuff.
loosely
Yeah. So like with mine, I always just have my guy just like holding things out for customers since I have like a little store set up. That's just like random figures and random accessories. It's basically just my display of just random stuff that comes with figures. And then I actually have not gotten a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figure in quite some time. Oh, you got another Jumbo, huh?
That's for Echo. He was commenting he wanted to see a Jumbo figure.
But I love a Triceraton, and so this is, I think, from the comic books, the Mirage comic books, or maybe the I don't know. This is from one of the comics, and I'm like, you know what? As a dinosaur, I love dinosaurs. So who wouldn't love a dinosaur in tidy whities?
Yeah, it's like, is he wearing a diaper? It looks like it.
He is. He really is. I think there's got to be some sort of customizability with this because he's basically just a naked muscle Triceraton. And there's got to be something that can be done with this. He's pretty poseable. He's a neat looking dude. So I don't know. Got this guy. This is the G.I. Joe 60th anniversary or 50th anniversary, whatever it is.
Yep.
It's just like standard. There's like no character name. It's just like standard Action Man or something. But he's just a generic, soldier.
He comes with a ton of stuff, though, right?
He does. He comes with like a really big machine gun. He comes with a bunch of weapons, handgun, a bunch of pouches and stuff. So yeah, he's cool. I'm gonna pull the head off of him and put someone else's head on him because like I like the body, but like the head is just super boring. There's nothing interesting there. Which with G.I. Joe, like everyone is like a specific character. So I feel like I'm just gonna swap his head out with somebody. Speaking of specific characters in G.I. Joe, I picked up Torch. He's one of the Dreadnoks. And he, I think with these Dreadnoks, they're just increasingly getting more and more Village People-ish. It's like, I just look at him like, how can anyone take this guy seriously? Like, he literally has a flamethrower with a skull in the front. He's wearing boots that have knee pads that come up that far. Like, you can't. He doesn't even wear a shirt. He's just wearing a bedazzled leather vest. Doesn't
he have a bunch of studs on him? He's got a bunch of studs on the vest too.
Yeah, I know. He's a leather daddy. And so like, how can anyone take him seriously? But like, I don't know. He's just got such a. I don't know. They're so weird. I don't know. This is kind of newish. I got this guy. I got another blue Mandalorian.
Yep. So is that the Fleet Commander? Is that what?
No, it's the Privateer one.
Oh, the Privateer.
It's the Target exclusive one. So I like the color blue. It's a nice blue. And then I did get, which I've been messing around with this thing, but this is actually really cool. This is the Nanmu Jurassic Park 3 female. The male, I'm not big on the quills on the head, but of course, as soon as I get this thing in my hand, Nanmu announced they were doing Jurassic Park 2. They were doing the orange tiger striped Velociraptors, which I like better because I don't like the bumps on the skull. So they're actually going to be doing those, which is cool. So I guess I'm going to have, because I'm sure as soon as that comes out, then they're going to do Jurassic Park 1 because everyone wants the brown one. So I guess I'll have 3.
Which company is that? I'm not familiar with
Nanmu, Nanmu. They were. I ended up getting this through 5K Toys, but they also have these up on Big Bad.
Big Bad, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but this is, I mean, it's pretty cool. Like she looks great. Like, I don't know. Can you make my screen bigger? Because I think like the teeth are really what I want to show.
Oh yeah, okay.
Let's see.
Yeah,
but like
I can see them.
Are translucent. Like that they actually have they're actually kind of sharp too. So actually have a nice wonderful sharpness to them. The claws are actually quite sharp. The feet are really well detailed. Super articulated, like ridiculously articulated. And it was like $40. Like that's pretty good.
But just a lot better than Mattel as far as the sculpt and the engineering.
Yeah, it is a lot better. And honestly, like I would put this up against like Beasts of the Mesozoic, which I really like David Zilla's stuff over there. But his stuff is getting so expensive. It's ridiculous. They'd be like $60, $70, $80 for something of like this size. And they're having like that woolly mammoth one they're doing now. That's like $200. But like this is $40. Like this is, I mean, it can stand on its own. Beast of the Mesozoic cannot stand on its own. You have to have a stand with them. So I don't know. I think these are really well done. Lastly, I've been playing a lot of like Horizon Forbidden West. Finally got into that only 2 years after the game came out. And so I picked this up. This is one of the PlayStation Amazon figures, and she's great. Like, she's really, really good. Very well articulated. The faces actually look pretty darn good. So let's see if I can get.
Yeah, it's still a little fuzzy.
Come on.
Almost. Come on,
There we
camera.
go.
There you go. Oh, you had it.
Oh, come on, just focus, dang it. Okay, well, anyway.
Well, we'll take your word for it.
Yeah, just trust me on the fit. It comes with like 4 or 5 different face plates that like pop on and off. She's got a whole bunch of hands. She comes with her spear from the game. She comes with a bow and arrow. The bow actually has a string, and she has specific hands for like pulling the string back. And then there's a spot where she can hold the arrow and notch it on the bow, which is pretty cool. So,
John, who makes that?
It's like, I don't know the oh crap. Who was it?
Did you get it on Amazon?
I got it on Amazon, but you know what? It's a company I didn't think would be able to do a good job. So I was a little hesitant on it, and I was a little surprised. So let me look it up real quick.
All right. Well, while you're looking up, I will show my Jumbo Akbar, which I think I showed in my video last week, but a couple weeks ago. Yeah. But this is really cool.
Beautiful.
Should I go after autographs at the convention? I don't know, but I could easily have the guy autograph the card. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to think about it.
It is made by.
No, do it.
Spin Master.
Or maybe do a TVC one instead.
So anyway, like I said,
I like the jumbos. Yeah. Go ahead, John.
Sorry, it was Spin Master. So like I didn't think Spin Master could make something this nice. Especially, it's like they do pretty good with like the little like DC figures. They're pretty fun for like what they are. I don't know if you guys have seen the newer like Batman and Robin or Batman Returns figures they've been doing.
No, I don't think so.
They look nice. Like, they look really good. They're just, but with this one, she's got like over 40 points of articulation, and like the hair itself is articulated. So the problem with like a lot of female characters is they have this like rubber thing, so you can't turn their head. But with her, you can turn the head anywhere you want, and then like move the hair to fit. Or if like she's leaping and like doing like an aerial attack, you can like turn the hair over, where she's like, so
you can do some good poses. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and that there's like a lot of little pieces on her that move to kind of accommodate that, and she's got a hell of like a torso articulation too. She can do like crazy.
What was the MSRP on it? Price?
It was, they're calling this a deluxe version, so this is about $49. And so, like I said, it comes with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, so it was well worth the money. 5 stars, you'd say?
I think so. I would like to have seen maybe like a few more of her weapons, because there's a lot of really cool weapons in the game. So like some of like the more, like you get the hunter bow, you get the spear. But like, I would love to see if they had like the tripcaster, the boltcaster, the slings, maybe like the disc launchers. Like, that would have been cool to see. Just because I love all those weapons. So I don't know. Have you guys played this game at all?
No.
No.
I played one version of it on the PlayStation. I don't remember which. I don't know if there's multiple versions of that game, but I remember that character, so I am sort of familiar.
Yeah, she's a good character. I'd love it if they did the robots in the game. I think they would be a wonderful series to collect, just because they're so weird. But I think that's all we got.
All right, Gary.
Oh, cool.
Gary
had Darth Maul.
Other than Darth and a bunch of Godzilla stuff.
Did you
Yeah.
get the new Super 7 Godzillas?
No, I had a couple of NECA figures, but then I started looking into the Bandai SH Monstro and discovered this Haya. So I think I bought 3 Godzillas, 1 Kong, a Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah over here. And I got several pre-ordered.
Yeah, you and I were talking about that. I'm really looking forward to that Shimu.
Yeah, me too.
That thing looks cool as hell.
Yeah, and I got the other Ghidorah ordered. Seems like I think I did order they're going to go do some throwback, some of the Hesse series. So I think I pre-ordered a couple of those.
Okay. I really hope they do more of the other like non-Godzilla monsters, because I think they've just been doing everything they've done up till now has been legendary, right? For Haya.
Yeah. Well, they did. I think they're doing the 80. I don't know if it's like 89 or 91.
You're right.
They got a couple of the old, like I said, I don't know if that was the Hesse series.
Yeah.
But the old tough stuff.
Yeah, that was a good guy.
They're doing a Ghidorah from back then too.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw it for it's up for pre-order for about $100.
I need to look this up. I'm curious. Yeah, because that Godzilla looks really good. I didn't know.
I think my last pickup.
Oh, go ahead.
I got one more thing to show. My last Oreo cookie.
Oh, there you go.
Save the best for last.
This is in honor of James Earl Jones. There you go.
There you go.
Are you gonna eat it?
You eat it?
I'm not.
Eat it.
I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna try to preserve this somehow. I don't know how I can do it, but
Why?
I don't know. We'll
Why?
see.
Why?
Because I can. I ate the whole package
just
already.
Eat the dang cookie.
Because I can.
One more.
I'm not-
cookie.
I'm gonna put it over there. It's been sitting on my shelf for a week already. It hasn't grown anything yet. We'll see.
I don't know about you. Have you all eaten these Star Wars Oreos?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Do they taste weird to you? Because they don't taste like normal Oreos to me. Okay.
Yeah, it's like they have granulated sugar in the frost.
There's something different.
It's
the
weird.
filling is a little.
It's weird.
Yeah, I was really confused about that. So I got
they
a
taste
pack
good
for,
or no?
They're good.
They're fine. They're not the normal Oreo taste.
It's not a normal Oreo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a pack for me and my son, and we were like, "These don't taste like Oreos." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
I don't think I've had an Oreo cookie since like 1985.
Well, then it'll taste different to you.
Yeah.
I got a pack of the mint Oreo cookies upstairs right now.
Probably anything
there
will taste different. You know, the mint Oreos are the only way my wife can buy Oreos, and I'm not going to eat the entire box.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she knows this.
Not a mint fan.
No.
I don't know. They taste a lot like the Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Thin Mints, they have the chocolate coating, though, don't they?
Yeah. It's a little different, but it's a very similar flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I don't get into them though.
Resin filling.
Resin? What's resin?
He's
Resin
joking.
cookies?
That Oreo.
Speaking of Oreo cookies, do you guys still have Twinkies? Is that still a thing or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can buy them in anywhere.
They
Now,
exist.
I have not eaten a Twinkie in 20 years, but
They're not as good as I thought they were.
no. Well, because they're not coated in anything. They're just this weird. Yeah, they're just this weird thing. They don't taste that great.
Hey, real quick, here's Dan's Black Series scale Bomar Monk
Nice.
that he did.
That is nice.
239 weeks ago? That's like,
wow.
4 years ago? Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Was that printed or was that just like
52 weeks
scratch
a year?
He said scratch built, so that's pretty
Nice.
impressive.
Yeah.
Wow,
Pretty
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's cool.
Here's my last comment here. Yeah, send the cookie in to get graded. That's what. Can you guys grade this Oreo? That's a good one.
They will. They will grade it. That's the funny thing. They will actually grade it.
9.0.
Sure. If you give them money, they'll do anything you want.
It's not going to be it's not going to be uncirculated, so you got to get like a fresh pack of them. And
it's been circulated and licked. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Dan was saying with resin, I need to dip it in resin. That's probably what he was
saying.
saying.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Resin.
Put it, yes, some clear resin. Just brush it on. Take it outside. It'll cure.
Might turn yellow.
Nice and yellow. Yeah. That's funny.
Ew.
All right, guys. Well, I need to wrap this up because it's getting late for me over here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
It's only 11:30 for you.
Yeah. But I'm tired.
All right, man.
Day.
Well, this was fun.
It was great chatting with you guys.
Yep. As always.
Yeah. Thanks for the education there, Gary, John.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We're always happy to derail a conversation, talk about.
We love talking about this stuff.
About stuff for
too long.
No,
it's great.
Yeah, thanks to the chat. Thanks, Dan. Yokai Customs. Follow him on Instagram. He's got some awesome customs. Got Echo chiming in from New Zealand. And a bunch of other people that joined us. Thanks, guys. And I think we'll end it there and say, may the force be with you. And also
everyone.
to you.
You guys have a good night.
All right, guys. I'll see you later.